home improvement. Food and wine.
Hello, welcome.
Γεια σας και καλώς ορίσατε. Today I'm creating a real taste of the sea with fish kebabs.
Terrific. Now, tell me, I'm used to thinking of souvlaki, I think of usually as being pork or meat.
Or lamb,
but would these be souvlaki as well?
Yes, because we're still skewering them. Souvla, as I said before, is a skewer.
Is a skewer.
So anything on a skewer is a kebab.
Okay, I got it. Anyway, you're using all sorts of different kinds of things. You're using swordfish.
Yes, which is a swordfish.
And you're going to be doing a marinade for that,
I'm going to marinate that, yes. And then we're going to cook them on this griddle here.
And in the second half of the show, you're doing something else.
I'm going to be doing some squid and prawns kebab.
Marinated again?
I'm going to marinate them, but I'm also going to do some fruity kebabs. And also I'm going to make a nice topping, dressing to go on top of them.
Terrific, terrific. But first of all, there was that film that you made in Chalkidiki.
Yes, with Vefa Alexiadou.
Absolutely. Where she cooked the most enormous fish. It was actually
cooked on a charcoal, real charcoal. Terrific. And it was huge, and I believe her husband caught that big fish.
Goodness me, you better have a look at it.
Vefa, this is a big fish. What is it called?
You are right, it's a big fish. It's a sinagrida fish. And sinagrida comes big. I'm going to cook the special Greek way, the easiest and the nicest.
Which is charcoal.
Charcoal,
yes.
And
the healthiest.
And the healthiest.
I agree with you.
The only sauce we are going to put on, it's the olive oil and lemon sauce.
Dressing.
A dressing. First
yes.
of all, we have to clean the fish.
Yes.
And wash it very, very well. It's very clean.
Do you wash it with salt? And
all inside. You see how clean it is. The second thing we have to do is to cut it.
Oh, you slash it through, do you?
Easier, yes, slash it through, because it's easier to be cooked.
All right.
When it's slashed.
Yeah.
Yes, look here. At the beginning, I have to put pepper and salt together,
which you
inside here.
Together.
You see, so the holes, the slashes help the seasoning get in and give the taste.
Yeah. I think you
I
need
put some olive oil on top first, and then I'll turn it around, upside down, turn it over.
So you do the same way,
the same thing again. And you know, with these slashes, you can cut the fish easier.
Yeah.
When you put it on the plate and serve
after it's cooked.
Yes. After it's.
Yeah, after it's cooked.
And then we put some salt and pepper, some seasoning in the belly also.
I noticed you haven't removed the head because Greeks love the head.
Yes.
It is a delicacy, isn't
My
it?
husband.
Yes.
He takes the head first.
The head of the family takes the head. Yes. Like they do with the lamb. You know, lamb on the spit. Yes. My mum loves eating the head. So our poor cat at home doesn't get anything to eat. When my mum is around anyway.
I prefer one piece, one slice of be close to the tail.
To the tail? Yes. Is that the why? Is it more tasty?
Yes, more tasty.
Well, can I have the end when it's cooked, please?
You can have it.
Thank you, thank you.
I will offer to you because I love you.
And I'm your guest.
I'm ready to put it on the charcoal.
Right. So we put it on the charcoal now.
I take it now and I put it on the charcoal.
Oh, as it is.
Yes, the fire is open and now it begins to cook. And it takes about half an hour
to be cooked. So Vefa, while the fish is cooking, we need to make our dressing. We need this?
Yes, I need the vase because in this vase I'm going to put the lemon juice. It's 1/3 of a cup. I'll put the lemon juice in.
Fresh olive or
Fresh lemon juice.
Yes.
Just squeeze.
Mm.
And here is 2/3 of a cup olive oil. 1/3 of a cup lemon juice, 2/3 of a cup olive oil. Mix together now. I'll put in some parsley, very thinly cut.
Yes.
I'll put some parsley, and I leave the other parsley, everybody to put on its own.
To decorate the
yes,
fish.
to decorate the fish.
Yes.
Now I close the vase, and the only thing I have to do is to shake it.
To shake it.
To shake it.
Yes.
What a delightful lady she seemed.
Oh, she was a jolly, lovely,
Yeah.
full of life
And you said
lady.
that because she's so well on TV in Greece, everyone knew who she
Oh, well,
was
we
when
went
you were shopping.
one
Yeah.
afternoon, you know, in the Thessaloniki market, and we couldn't do any shopping. Everybody wanted to stop her, shake her
really-
hands, and kiss her,
yeah,
and
yeah.
asking her for the autograph.
And
of
tell me,
her
was
autograph.
that fish as good as it looked?
Oh, it was delicious. Yes, we actually sat down and ate the fish, which was
Brilliant,
really nice.
brilliant.
She insisted that we ate before we went home.
Very, very sound. Look, well, I'm going to leave your kebabs sizzling away, and I'll see you
Sizzling
later.
away, yes. Okay, let's get on with our recipe. So I'm making sifia souvlakia, which is swordfish kebab. Now, first of all, get some nice swordfish and cut it into large chunks like this, like that done here, all right? So I'm not going to bother cutting anymore. I'm just showing you how to cut them. Now, we need to make a marinade for this. So we need, half an onion blended. Now, just a small onion will do, you know. So half an onion blended. We also need a couple of bay leaves crushed up like that. Just do them with your hands. All right, 2 or 3 will do. Also, we need the juice of 1 lemon. They're hard to, so it doesn't matter about the pips because we're not going to eat those. We also need some paprika, a tablespoon of paprika that will give a lovely pink color to our fish. We also need half a cup of olive oil, which is about 4 fluid ounces. And also we're going to put salt. Now, if I was marinating lamb or pork, any meat dishes, I wouldn't put salt in this because it tends to draw the juices out of the lamb or your pork. But because we're using fish, it doesn't matter. And there is our marinade, it's ready. And what you need to do is put it on top of your fish. And now you need to leave it to marinate for at least 2 hours before you start cooking them. Now, let's pretend that this has been marinating for 2 hours. And I'll show you how to thread your kebabs. Okay, you always start with a piece of fish, right? Then add a nice piece of onion. You can dip your onions in the marinades so they are coated with the oil. And then I'm going to add another piece of fish and then some red pepper or yellow pepper or green peppers, it doesn't matter. Now you can use other firm fish to make your kebabs. You can use, it has to be a firm fish. Tuna fish is very, very good for this. Monkfish is another good fish. And halibut, as I said, any firm fish will be good. Because otherwise, if you use, say, cod, it will break on the grill. Okay, you thread them alternatively, finishing with a piece of fish. And there is our kebabs ready. All you have to do then is put them onto your griddle. I'm going to put this one in as well. These are already been cooking. But you must remember, while they're cooking, you need to brush them with this beautiful marinade This will stop them going dry, and it will also give them a lovely taste. Simple as this.
Those look, I said, almost cooked.
They're almost cooked, Charles. Would you like to try,
Oh,
sir?
yeah, I'd love to. Yes, thank you. That's what a nice idea.
I know.
So, I mean, you seared them nicely on one side.
Yeah.
Is there? Do you just sort of trying to? Do you feel it by pressure? I mean, that's pretty firm now.
Yes, it's ready. I mean,
Yeah.
fish doesn't need a lot of cooking.
So it doesn't
It's
need
not
to get
like,
brown or anything like that.
No, it doesn't. It's not like meat.
Okay,
Here
look
we
at
are.
that.
A bit hot those, but
Now I would have to. Whoo, that is hot, isn't it? Now normally you would serve them on the skewer, but take them off with the fork.
I'll take one out for
How
you,
kind
Charles.
of you. Gosh, that looks so good.
Oh.
I must say, the smell of this as it comes off. This.
Is it
I
nice?
think one of the nice things about cooking them so fast like this is that you do get the caramelization
That's right.
of these of the various
yeah.
sugars in the food.
And the lovely sort of burn.
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
lovely,
effect on
lovely.
there. Here we
Can
are,
I just try a
Charles?
little bit of this delicious-looking swordfish? Here we are.
Nice?
Not nice. Delicious.
Not nice.
We're taking a break now, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes with fruity fish kebabs and the vino to go with it. Don't
Yes.
go away.
Bye. Welcome back. Now I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful prawns and squid kebabs and these beautiful tuna fish kebabs with fruit. Now I'm going to put them on my griddle because I want them cooking. Get rid of this dish, and I'm going to start with the prawns and calamari. I need to marinate this, so I need half a cup of olive oil. It's a very simple marinade actually. A little bit of oregano, about a teaspoon of oregano. A little bit of salt, probably the same amount, a teaspoon again of salt. Also we need some lemon juice. There's always olive oil and lemon juice in Greek marinades. It's just a little bit like making a dressing actually. But it's very, very good because it helps to keep the fish soft while it's cooking and tasty. It makes it really taste lovely. Now I'm going to add a little bit of pepper as well in there. And what you need to do is to prepare your calamari, cut it into large pieces, about 1.5 inch wide, and peel your prawns and just leave the little tails on. They look nice. And also make sure you take the little vein off the prawns. If you cut them on the top like that, you can remove the vein really easily. And then you need to put them all together like that and marinate them for at least 2 hours. They don't need more than 2 hours, otherwise they're going to start cooking after that. Right, once you've done that, you thread them like we've done this. You start with either a calamari or a prawn, it doesn't matter. And then you add some pepper. Dip your pepper into your marinade. And thread again a few more prawns. And again some more pepper until you put as many as you want, you know, into your skewer. That's it. As simple as this. Right. Now what I'm going to do that goes really, really nicely with this is it's a lovely dressing that goes on top of them. I'm going to just turn this because I don't want them burning. And also I need to brush them with some of this lovely marinade. It will stop them burning and it will keep them moist. So you have to do that a few times. And keep checking them and turning. Of course, our prawns and calamari is going to be cooked first because they don't need a lot of time. Now I'm going to show you how to make a lovely dressing that goes really, really well on top of these kebabs. On top, especially for the prawn kebabs. Okay, it's very simple. We need some olive oil. You need about 2 fluid ounces of olive oil. You also need the juice of 1 lemon again. Okay. And now another ingredient we're using, which is unusual, is a small green chili. Take the seeds away and chop it very, very finely. And I'm also going to use some red pepper. Now half a pepper, red pepper, again take the seeds out and cut it again very, very small. And we're also going to use a clove of garlic. I'm going to mix them together and season it with some pepper and a little bit of salt, and I think I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil. It's not enough there. And it makes a lovely hot and spicy dressing, so don't put too much on top of your kebabs. But believe me, it's lovely. Now, okay, now let me check them again, check these kebabs and see what they're doing. Oh, they're looking really, really nice. Now I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful tuna kebabs with plums and oranges. Okay, you need a nice piece of tuna like this. Cut it again into big chunks and start threading your tuna into your skewer. Then add a piece of plum. Half the plums first and take the stones out. Then add a piece of orange and do the same with the thing. They're actually lovely and refreshing, these kebabs. They're different. I think you're going to really enjoy them. Do try them. Right, you can use other fruit if you like. Pineapple is really, really nice for these kebabs. Now you must remember you need to brush them with some olive oil and lemon juice before you put them into your griddle. Right, our kebabs are ready and they're smelling delicious. All I have to do now is put them in this beautiful decorated platter. Now this is our swordfish kebab that we prepared earlier. Okay, don't they look colourful? Charles, wait until you see this. Right.
Terrific. Now I've got some lovely colourful wines
to go with this
beautiful colourful kebabs. Okay, we're starting off with a rosé, a Greek rosé.
Oh, right.
And it's from Semeli.
Ah.
$5.95 a bottle, so it's not cheap, but I think it's a delicious wine. Lovely pale pink, lovely pale pink. $5.95, Greek Wine Centre, Shrewsbury. Now, can I help myself to one of these? Delicious.
Get a piece of lemon as well,
oh, thank you very much. Okay, there we are.
I'm going to put a little bit of rice.
I'm going to give myself a little bit of tuna as well, just for fun. Thank you very much, Lula. Whoa.
And would you like some of this spicy dressing?
Yes, absolutely.
Just a little bit. I mean, look at that. It will look really nice and colourful.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I have to say, this is a really beautiful looking plate, and I'm sure it tastes just as good. Let's have a try. Now, the semeli is it's a lovely, fresh, juicy, fruity. Very crisp, very clean. Does it go with these delicious looking kebabs?
Yes.
Very good. Well, that works pretty well. Perhaps a little bit, almost a little too fruity. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Right. Next one, we've got another rosé, slightly deeper colour. Now, this one is from Spain, from Navarra, yes, made from the Cabernet Sauvignon grape variety. And this one is $3.99 from Sainsbury's. You do get that sort of creamy, slightly grassy flavour.
Oh, yeah.
That's very typical of a rosé made from Cabernet Sauvignon. Let's try it with a prawn this time.
How much is this one, Charles?
$3.99.
$3.99. Only $3.99?
Yeah, good price.
That's cheap. I think a lot of people can afford that price.
Yes, well, I think that works very well. I wonder whether it works with the tuna. Let me just have a tiny taste of the tuna.
Yeah, because it's more meaty, isn't it, tuna? So.
Still works very well.
Yeah.
These dry rosés, I think, are exceptionally good wines for really sort of bright, exciting fish dishes. And this is certainly a bright and exciting fish dish. Now, have a taste of this last one, which is also from France. And this one is from Bordeaux. It's a Bordeaux Sauvignon. This is phenomenally good value. £2.99 a bottle from Quick Save.
Very, very cheap.
Cuvée VE. It's lovely. Crisp, grassy, and only £2.99. Right, a quick prawn.
So what do you think? Which one do you prefer with this sort of fish kebabs?
Well, you know, I mean, I've just tried a prawn, and
Yeah.
that goes very well. Let me just
Yeah.
try a little bit of the tuna. Up until this one, I was definitely for the Spanish rosé.
Yeah. I can't make up my mind, I'm afraid.
Well, this is pretty good. I think for me, it has to be the Spanish rosado in the middle.
Yeah.
I think that goes very well with everything. So, anyway,
Well-
paper and pens out. If you'd like details of today's recipes and my wines, here's the recap.
That's it for today. Next time I'll be cooking with food writer Anglais Cremezzi.
And she was doing that lovely garlic sauce,
Yes, with
Skordalia.
bread. With bread this time.
That's right.
Yes.
And serving it with hyacinth bulbs.
Yes.
Interesting. I don't.
Very unusual.
And you're going to be cooking cod fried in batter,
batter.
with a beetroot and potato
That's
salad,
right.
and I'll have more wines. See you then.
See you then.
What a good life. Food and wine.
Hello, welcome.
Γεια σας και καλώς ορίσατε.
Now we've come to the last in our series on fish and seafood.
Yes.
And you're going to be making cod with a lovely beetroot and
Potato salad, yes. But I'm going to be frying my cod in batter.
in batter.
Yeah, a bit like your fish and chips.
Right, right, absolutely. And I'm going to be taking a trout to pieces, so you can then cook that in a frying pan.
Yes,
aren't you?
I'm going to fry that differently in
Right.
a shallow pan with a
Yes.
little bit of oregano and some lemon juice.
sounds delicious.
Yes, two different ways to cook
Excellent,
fish.
excellent.
Lovely.
And then there was a film you made with Aglaire Cremezzi,
That's right.
and she was cooking something really quite wacky. It was that lovely garlic sauce, Skordalia
Skordalia, yeah.
with hyacinth bulbs. Interesting.
Yeah, very unusual actually.
Yeah.
They look like little pickled onions actually. I thought that's what they were.
Let's have a closer look.
So we're using Horta, wild greens today, to make a lovely salad, I believe.
Yes, we're going to use Horta. Horta are a very important thing in Greek diet. All kinds of Horta.
Yeah.
In the winter we use the wild ones, but we also cultivate some
I believe
of them.
so, yes.
So the ones that we're going to use today, these are beet greens.
Yes.
In this salad, I'm also adding a little bit of rocket, just to give it a bite. The way I usually do it, I wilt them.
Yeah.
That means that when I wash them, as long as they have the water on them,
Yeah.
I put them in a pan. Actually, I have the pan here,
Yeah.
and I put them in the all over the stove with very little water,
Yeah.
just enough so that they wilt.
Yes.
Together with the greens, we are going to use beets, which we have cooked and we have sliced them.
And peel them first.
And peel them first, yes, and peel them first.
Yes.
And we are also going to use something quite exotic, which is grape hyacinth bulbs. This is something, volvi were used in antiquity.
All right.
They are mentioned in all the ancient, and they were considered to be aphrodisiacs
All
in
right.
antiquity. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the greens from here
Yeah.
and arrange them on the bowl here.
A nice large bowl.
A nice large bowl. So we take the greens and we arrange them, nicely around here.
Do you mix them together or do
I
you
would
sort
like
of-
to mix them together,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I would like to mix them
So
together.
the flavors
Mix
together.
yes. I mean, it depends. Whatever you like, yes.
How you
Whatever
feel
like to do with it.
on the day.
Yes, exactly. And I'm going to add some beets here. You see the colors?
Oh, yeah.
Food is also color, eh?
Yeah, you eat with your eyes
Isn't it?
first, don't you?
Yes,
And then with
exactly, yes. My grandfather used to drink the Horta water,
Yeah.
and he used to say that this is fantastic, especially the water from bitter greens.
Yeah.
You don't have many bitter greens in Europe. There aren't many bitter greens, or they don't eat them much. I mean,
No.
here are the bulbs also, and I'm also going to drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil. And we are now going to proceed in making the
Skordalia
garlic
sauce. Shall I move so
Skordalia.
you can have more room to
Oh,
make your
okay.
Skordalia sauce? All right.
Now, I'm going to start by soaking bread. You leave it in the water. You leave it
Yeah.
in the water to soak for for a few
for a
minutes.
few minutes,
For a
yes.
few minutes. That's it.
So it will crumble
And-
better.
Exactly. So let's start by loading the food processor or the blender. How you call it? I don't know.
Oh, both.
How do you call it? You call it-
Both.
Let's start with the potato. I mean, this is just about 1.5 boiled potato. I mean, it depends.
Yeah. Large potatoes or medium potatoes?
Again, I should tell you that nothing is written in stone here. You
Yeah.
have to taste and see. This is the bread that I'm going to now
Squeeze all the
not
water
all the
out?
water, not
No?
all the water. I need a little bit
A
of
little
water
bit of water.
because I'm going to use, you see, the dried nuts.
Yes,
So
yes.
I need a little bit of water.
Yeah.
I'm not squeezing it a lot.
No.
So I'm just sort of trying to separate it a little bit. Okay. And I'm also going to add a little bit of lemon to start with because I want to facilitate the process of mashing all this stuff. Here I have fresh lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
Fresh lemon juice is very different from the one you buy in the bottles.
Oh,
you know
yes.
that. Yes.
Yes.
So I'm going to add about 3, 4, 5, 6 cloves, and they were very big cloves, as you have seen.
Yeah, they're quite large.
quite
Yes,
large.
Quite large.
And
yeah.
also about half a cup of walnuts. Also, you see, some people use walnuts, some people use almonds, some people use even pine nuts in Skordalia.
Yes.
Now we will have everything mashing. And we're starting to add the olive oil now. And of course we're using extra virgin olive oil.
Oh,
We
yes,
are always
always.
using extra virgin olive oil in all sauces and all foods that are not going to be boiled.
That's right.
So that you have the taste of the fruity olive oil.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to do something, I'm going to add just a handful of almonds, and I'm not going to wait for them to be completely mashed. And now we're done.
so easy to
Isn't
do
it?
this. And it keeps, doesn't it? It keeps for a
Oh, yes.
while in the fridge.
It keeps for at least for a week.
If you can leave it alone for a week.
Well, yes, that's it. Because you can eat it with potatoes.
Yeah.
You can eat it with whatever you like.
That's right.
And it's really very good. So we're going to
I can smell the garlic.
Yes, can't
So
you?
strong.
I mean, you couldn't miss it.
Beautiful.
It
No.
smells a lot. So we're going to pour it here in this little bowl and serve it with our greens.
Yeah, you're not going to pour it on top.
No, I'm not going to pour it on top. I believe in serving it on the side.
Well, it
So
looks-
this is it.
It looks beautiful.
I'm not sure about hyacinth bulbs. Do you think it would catch on here?
I don't think so, Charles.
And the other thing I was told was that the kind of hyacinth bulbs we have and you may have in your garden are not suitable
No,
for,
they're
to be
very
eaten.
poisonous, actually.
It's
so-
actually a particular kind of hyacinth
That's
you get
right.
in Greece.
Yeah. And even the ones in Greece, you buy them already prepared, you know.
Oh,
you don't
really?
start cooking them yourself.
Okay.
They're in pickle.
Right, steer
Yeah,
clear of
yeah.
homegrown hyacinths. Now, you're going to prepare this fish now for
That's right.
your battered cod,
Yes, my
aren't you?
fresh cod, isn't
Right.
it lovely?
It
Now,
looks absolutely
what we
beautiful.
need to do is remove the bone, of
Yep.
course, because we're going to cover them in butter. We don't need the bones, do we? They're
No.
nasty, and they break your teeth. So just remove the bone with a.
Yeah.
You need a sharp knife, a little sharp, flexible knife,
Right,
always. And I'm going to cut this in half because it's quite big.
good.
And also I'm going to remove the skin, like that. Start
Yep.
it up there and then just pull it. It's a bit tricky,
It's
but
quite tricky because
yeah,
it's such a thin steak you've
yeah,
got.
and
that you-
also it's quite soft, isn't it?
It is,
It's
it's a
not
very
a
soft
firm
flesh.
fish. It's
No,
not
it's
like
not
a
like
halibut
halibut
to
or
say.
tuna or
There we
something like
are.
that.
It's not bad actually.
Good.
I've done one piece like that,
There we
and I'm
are.
going to leave it like that. It's big
Right.
enough, I think.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do the other piece. Do the same thing again.
Now, the other thing that's worth noticing is that presumably this has been scaled already,
Oh,
hasn't it?
yes, but it doesn't matter
It doesn't
anyway
really matter 'cause you're
if there
taking
is
the skin
scales
off.
because I'm removing the skin. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's nice when you cover them in butter to have
No,
skin
no, I
and
quite
bones
agree.
in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
That's it.
That's good. Okay.
Now, I've got to do the rest of it.
Right. Now we got the
Right.
trout.
Yes, and of course, we're going to do this in butter, and we're
That's
going
right.
to fry this shallow
can I
fry.
borrow that
with-
knife?
Yes, are you going to
What shall I do? Shall I be kitchen?
go
boss? I
then?
quite-
Are you
yes.
having a go?
So
Thank
what
God,
I'm going
because
to
I hate
do
it.
to start with,
Yeah.
man's job with a
It's
knife,
a man's job, this,
is I'm just
definitely.
slitting it all along the back here,
Yeah.
so that should we take the skin off? Do you think it's take skin off?
It's up to you, Charles, but no, I think it's
Do you
nicer to leave the skin on
Okay,
because
you
we're
leave the skin
shallow
on.
frying it.
Okay, leave the skin
Just
on.
take the bone off.
Just make that little tiny incision
That's
there.
right, to remove the flin. or
Right.
Is it a flin? What do you call it?
That fin.
Fin,
So what I'm
okay.
doing is I'm just cutting along
Yeah,
so that I'm leaving the bone in. Just have to try and find
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
There we are.
And
So I'm
nearest
cutting
to the
away
bone, isn't
from
it, as
yeah, that's
possible?
right. As near to the bone, so as you get
Yeah.
all as much fish as possible, and turning the knife out. So the one thing I was always told never to do
Yeah.
is cut towards your fingers. He said,
That's right.
doing it
Yeah.
with a very sharp knife, which
Well,
this
it's
is.
dangerous,
There we are.
isn't
So
it?
you're leaving
Yeah.
it and exposing the backbones there. There we are. And it's
Lovely.
just cutting this bit away
Yeah.
here, taking out that little bit of bone there.
I would be tempted to sort of cut the head off first,
Yep.
Charles. Is that wrong or?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you could
No.
do. You could do.
Yeah.
Oh dear, there's a little bit of
No,
fish
you're
eye
doing
there.
a fabulous job,
There you
actually.
are. So it's coming off. Coming on,
Lovely.
just stroking the flesh away like
That's
that.
right. That's
So you're
lovely.
leaving all those bones that you would normally
Behind.
get,
Yeah.
and you're leaving
No.
the backbone.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Lovely.
There you are. There's half our
Oh,
trout.
wonderful. No,
Okay.
that's
So
really
there we
nice. I
are.
think we'll
Cut
have
this
to
off.
cut that in half.
Cut that
for
in half.
frying it.
Right,
yes,
you are.
yes.
I'm just going to
Cut it-
take this
Yes,
little bit out here.
diagonal, I think.
Okay, that's there
Lovely.
and there. Let's do that for you.
Isn't it
There we
gorgeous
have.
colour?
Beautiful colour.
That's
Take
lovely,
a few little
Charles.
bones.
Are you going to do the
And
other
there we
half?
are. No, I'll do let's do the other half later. Let's have a break now. Come back in a couple of minutes and we'll have got the rest of the fish off the bones and a few wines, and
Yeah.
Lula will be cooking it.
That's right.
See you then.
See you after the break. Welcome back. Now we're going to make a cod in butter, and
Terrific.
we're also going to make
Trout, nice fried trout
yes,
with
we're going to
oregano.
fry them in olive oil and
love it.
oregano.
Good.
Now I've got to start making my batter mixture, Charles,
Excellent.
because we need to make this first. Now you need about half a pound of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, right, and half a pint of milk and 1 egg. I add my egg first, mix it together, and then add my milk, about half a pound of milk.
Great.
I'm going to use one of these hand.
They're wonderful,
Whisks.
those hand whisks, aren't they?
They are lovely. And I'm also going to add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil.
The secret Greek ingredient.
That's right, the Greek flavors. Now you need to mix this quite well until you have no lumps.
Yeah.
And it's very important to let it rest.
Yes.
All
yes,
right?
That's what I've
it's
always
like
shown.
making pancakes.
Pancakes,
That's
absolutely,
Right. So
yes.
we've got one that we
Okay.
prepared earlier. Not to forget, you need a bit of salt as well.
Okay, we've got
Right.
some salt here.
Lovely, fantastic. Thank you very much. Right, our batter mixture is ready. I'll leave it there.
Good, good.
Right, and now, would you like to start frying the
Okay.
cod, Charles?
This is nice. Oh, that's going beautifully. Okay. Right.
Now we
so,
need to dip it in butter.
Yep.
All right?
So I'm dipping the cod
Yeah,
into the batter. There we are.
that's right. And then make sure your basket is already
Yep,
in
absolutely.
the oil.
Yes, basket in, oil
Yeah,
nice
and
and
just
hot.
drop it in. Oh no. Now it has to be around 170, 180
Oh, right. Okay.
degrees.
It
All
is
right?
sizzling away.
Yeah, sizzling away. Okay. I'm gonna start cooking my hay.
Trout,
And
trout.
sorry,
Oh.
trout. Right, add my trout, and always fry it with the
The
skin,
skin down first. Right,
first,
okay.
all right? While it's frying, I'm going to sizzle it. Wipe my hands first, otherwise you can't use these things. Add a little bit of pepper, little bit of salt, and I'm going to pinch one of these lovely lemons from here. Can I borrow your knife, Charles?
Yes, please do.
Right.
Oh, yummy.
And I'm gonna. Oh, Charles, could I borrow that?
Yeah,
Because
do.
it's a bit smaller than the one I have. And I'm gonna
Flip it over.
turn it, yes.
Great. Some restaurants nowadays seem to go actually for making the skin quite crispy. It
Crispy.
actually present it
Yeah.
almost as a crispy crust, as a
That's
feature
right.
of the dish, don't
That's
they?
why you have
Yeah,
to fry
start
it
off with the skin.
with the skin down. Now,
Brilliant.
while that's frying, I'm gonna add another Greek ingredient,
Oregano.
oregano. Little
Great.
bit of oregano on there.
Yeah,
And I'll keep the oil in there. I don't get
fine.
rid of
No,
it.
no.
And now
Excellent.
I need. Guess what else I need, Charles? Now
Salt and pepper? Lemon juice.
finish it with
just
some
sharpen it up a bit.
lemon juice.
Great.
Lovely. It makes it sizzle, doesn't it, Charles?
Yep.
Right.
Wonderful sizzle.
I'm going to add the other one as well.
Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on
Will
that.
you
Where
keep
do
an eye on it, because I think you'll be nearly finishing now.
Yep.
Right, a little bit of parsley as well, Charles.
Terrific.
Okay. Right. What goes really, really nice with cod, with
Yeah.
both fishes actually,
Yeah.
is potato and beetroot salad, panjari me patate salata,
Oh, great.
and also Skordalia sauce.
Oh, that I can imagine,
All right.
yes.
Now what you need to do is boil some new potatoes with the skin on, all right? Boil them until soft, and then cut them in half. Put them into your bowl. So as I said, we need about a pound of potatoes. I won't put them on, all of them, because my bowl is a bit small. We also need the same amount with cooked beetroot. Cut them into 4, like that. Like that. Of course, if we're in Greece, we can get fresh beetroots. I think you can get them here as well.
We grow beetroots in our garden.
Do you?
Oh,
And
yeah.
you know, the leaves of the beetroot
We cook those like spinach.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Nothing
we had
wasted.
fresh ones, we would have boiled them separate
yeah,
and
yeah.
mix them all together.
Right,
And it will
yes,
make a lovely
yes.
salad. Now, the Greeks always eat this salad with fish.
Really? I've never thought of putting beetroot together
Oh,
with...
lovely.
Interesting.
Now, we also need some garlic. Garlic. Definitely. You need about 2 cloves of garlic in there.
Yep.
And also we need some olive oil.
Yep.
About half a cup of virgin olive oil. And we also need a couple of tablespoons of white vinegar, Charles.
Excellent.
Not lemon juice, vinegar.
No. Okay. Ah, interesting.
Right. Salt and pepper.
Right.
Mix it
Okay.
and see what it tastes like as well. I've got to taste it because it may need a little bit more salt or more pepper. A little bit more vinegar. That's beautiful.
Right.
Isn't it colourful?
It looks
How are
absolutely
you doing
wonderful.
with the
Well,
cod?
the cod is beautifully cooked. Just
Lovely.
stuck slightly to the... My inexpert dropping, I think, meant that I stuck it slightly to the bottom, but there we are.
Doesn't matter,
It looks
Charles.
wonderful. Right.
Okay, well, doesn't it look fabulous?
Come and so have some wine.
All right.
After you, lady.
Thank you.
This looks... I mean, I'd never thought that a dish could look quite so colourful as these do.
Yeah.
Right, now, have some of my
All right. That
fried
looks
cod
lovely,
a
that.
la Grec.
Alan Greg, yes. Or fish and chips.
Well, fish without the chips. Fish with
Without
a
the
nice
chips,
potato and beetroot salad. And whoops, dear, sorry about that.
Can I give you some of this lovely salad?
With great pleasure.
Right, sure.
Now, we're going to start off with a Greek white. It comes from Domaine Caras, that place up in the Chalkidiki Peninsula.
All right.
Let me just give you some. There we are. It's their Blanc de Blanc. It's not terribly cheap, but it's £5.49. And, oh, I must try some of my trout, actually, as well.
Yes, I think you've done a very good job
Whoa.
there, Charles. But isn't it nice we left the skin on?
I think it's very nice. I'm very keen on skin.
Yeah.
Great fan of skin. Whoops, there we go. Nicely browned. Now, I like this. It's got a slight touch of sweetness, which I think might go rather well with the sweetness of the beetroot and the salad.
All right, let's try it.
Very clean, crisp, modern Greek wine. Just the kind of thing that the Greeks are doing so well these days. Let's try it with your
I like
fried
to
cod.
put a little bit of lemon.
That's a good
Typical
idea,
Greek.
actually.
Typical
Very-
Greek.
yeah,
They
okay.
don't eat fish without lemon.
No. Mmm. Mmm. Benda.
That's lovely.
Well, that works very well. It's clean, it's crisp, it's got that touch of sweetness, but actually it goes remarkably well with that cod. Lovely, which with the lemon squeezed over it,
Yeah.
it just gives it that little lift, doesn't it?
That's right.
I have to
yeah.
say, I think that lemon squeezed over a fried fish is so much more civilized than pouring vinegar
I was
over
going
it.
to say that. Yeah, the Greeks
Anyways.
even put lemon juice on chips,
Do they?
not vinegar.
Great, great. Okay, next one. Now this is South African, Winelands Chenin Blanc. It costs £4.49 and it comes from Bottoms Up, Thresher and Wine Rack.
Ah,
Chenin Blanc, one of the great grapes of the Loire, where you get wines like Vouvray is made from Chenin Blanc. And it's a slightly richer, more apple and honey.
oh yeah. I can
Ripe
taste the apple.
Appley. Isn't
there.
it good? Anyway, let's give it a tiny try with this. There we are. Mmm.
Lovely. The delicate taste blend together
Almost-
nicely.
Well, I was going to say almost a little too fruity. Let's just try it with the fried trout.
I like it.
Mmm. Doesn't really quite work. The oregano doesn't really go quite well with the flavour of the wine.
You don't think so?
It's good. Well, I like the wine, but I'm not sure about how it goes. Okay, last wine. This is a Spanish white, £3.99 from Tesco. It comes from the region of Rueda, and this one is actually made out of Sauvignon Blanc and Verdejo. Sauvignon Blanc, great. I gave you some and forgot to give me any. Sauvignon Blanc, great French white variety from the Loire and from Bordeaux. Verdejo, native to Rueda. Lovely sort of gentle, fruity character. I think this will be rather good with this fried fish.
Now, when you smell it, you think it's a dry, very dry white wine, but it's not. As
It's
you
fruity.
said, it's got
fruity.
yeah, lovely fruity taste.
That goes well, doesn't it? I wonder what
Does.
it's like with this trout.
Well,
I think
I
that's
like
quite
all
nice.
three of them.
I mean, which do you think is best? You know, in a funny kind of way, I find myself straying back to our Greek wine again.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's
a Greek
amazing
one.
how many times in this series we've discovered that
yeah.
we put a trio of wines from totally different countries,
Yeah.
one of which is Greek, and the Greek one wins.
Yes, it's good, really. I'm quite
It's
happy
terrific.
about that because Greek wines don't really have a fabulous, name.
Well, they're getting
so
it now.
They're getting it now,
Okay.
and I'm really, really,
If you'd
really
like
happy.
to know Lula's recipe and my choice of wines, here's today's recipe recap. Well, that's it for today. We're kicking off next time with a new two-part series on mezes.
Mezes, Charles.
Oh, mezes.
Yes.
I always get the plural wrong. I must brush off my Greek grammar, mustn't
You
I?
do very well, though.
It's so much a feature of Greek life.
Yeah,
the
the
sort
way
whole
of
business
life,
of
definitely.
meze, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And you've got a lovely film that you made in that ouzeri
Yeah, in Thessaloniki
in
with
Thessaloniki.
Sodiris.
Wonderful.
Fabulous.
Terrific. So, see us then.
Bye-bye.
To Spanish tapas, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Lots of different things.
Lots of bits and pieces.
Yeah,
you know.
not a great huge plate of one thing, but lots of little servings of
yeah,
lots of different
that's
things, which is
lovely.
fun.
Yes.
And these are
Some of the things
the
that
kind
you,
of things that
you
you
find
might-
in a
you might
osteria
find.
or a taverna
Yes,
in Greece.
yes.
That,
sort of the meatballs.
that's right. We've got
That's
the
right.
meatballs that you're bound to find.
Yeah.
Dolmades, staffai leaves, spanakoti robitaka, spinach, and feta cheese pastry. Sometimes
Right.
they're just stuffed with
Feta,
cheese.
that's this sort of crumbly
That's
white
right.
cheese.
Beautiful. That Greeks adore.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they eat it every day.
Yes.
Plus with olives and
Olives
yogurt.
and yogurt, and
Yes,
all those
and
sort
of course,
things.
nice olive bread there to go with
Right,
it.
right. And I'm going to be choosing drinks to go with what you are cooking. And there are various sort of rules. We've got the rules that retsina goes quite well with the fried dishes, the fried vegetable dishes,
Definitely,
fried
yeah.
fish dishes. Or you can get ouzo, dry white wine, with some of the other sort of softer, gentler fish
That's
dishes.
right.
And that sort of thing. And
Those
today,
two are the drinks that
Yeah.
always go with mezedes.
absolutely,
You're right.
absolutely. So today you're going to be doing
I've been making lots of things really today.
Yeah.
Mezeve dishes. I'm going to start with the Skordalia, and Solo's my son. Can you believe he's my son?
No, he can't be.
I'm
He
not
must be your
old
younger
enough,
brother.
am I?
Certainly not.
No,
Certainly not.
He'd be helping me with preparing the food.
Right.
So as I said, I'm going to start with Skordalia,
Yeah.
which is the very typical Greek dip that you
Yes.
find in Osteria and
Yes.
a taverna. The basic ingredients is garlic and potato.
Yeah, yeah.
And this will go really well with the things I'm going to cook. I'm going to fry some calamari, baby
Right.
calamari.
Uh-huh.
That goes very well. And also I'm going to be frying some courgettes.
Terrific.
Fritters.
And the kind of place where you can get all these together is the equivalent, the Greek equivalent of the tapas bar, the ouzeri.
Yes, that's
and
right.
there was one you visited in Thessaloniki, wasn't it?
Yes. I've got lovely memories, especially about the octopus.
Ah.
It was a beautiful octopus.
here. This is my favorite ouzeri.
Τι κάνετε?
Χαίρετε.
Καλά. Γεια σας. Τι να προσφέρω?
Α, τώρα να τα σκεφτούμε λίγο.
Να τα σκεφτείτε.
This is great marketplace spot right here. It's called an ouzeri. You know what that is?
I know what it is, but a lot of people don't know the difference. So
Well, the specialty of the house is ouzo here, as opposed to perhaps wine.
yeah, that's
And it's primarily a place for lunch where wine and ouzo are incidental rather than being the purpose for coming
Yeah.
here. And you'll see what a great lunch it is.
yeah. So
Τι
you
καλά
get-
έχεις σήμερα?
Έχω καλαμάρι γεμιστό,
Ah,
τα
ωραία.
ποδάκια στα κάρβουνα, καλαμάρι τηγανιτό, πηδοπίλαφο, σουπιές στη
My
φάδο.
goodness, think of all that stuff.
Γαρίδες στα
Shall we try the
σαλάκι.
stuffed calamari?
Yes, yes, that would be
Ένα
really
καλαμαράκι
nice. Yes.
γεμιστό,
And I
να
also
φέρετε.
like to try some octopus.
Oh, for sure.
How is that cooked? I wonder.
That,
with
she'll cut a piece for us,
And then
throw
she'll-
it on the charcoal, grill it quickly, and it's a great accompaniment for the ouzo.
Yeah, I haven't had that before, so I'm very tempted to try some of that.
Well, this place, you know, you can probably be served 20, 30 things and never have the same thing twice.
Yeah, and it's nice where it is, isn't it?
Well, it's in the middle of the marketplace.
market.
You can come and do your shopping. You shop for food, and just a block away for clothing and everything else.
Yeah.
It's a classic bazaar of the old world. Thessaloniki is famous for this.
Yeah.
And then you come here, rest, and have a delicious lunch. And of course, I got one for you. Look at that.
Yes,
There
so-
is the octopus,
Yeah.
grilled,
Real.
beautiful, white, tender meat.
Yeah.
It's very tender. And that's the stuffed
Stuffed
squid.
squid.
Pine nuts and
Cheese.
rice.
Yes.
And I bet it's a little piquant. I see the red, the
Yeah,
telltale
yeah.
color of the
Piquant they
pepper.
go. A little bit spicy, eh?
Absolutely. And as you can see, the inside of the squid, the stuffing there is beautiful.
Yeah.
Pine nuts,
Yeah.
rice.
Tell me, does
A little
this
bit of
taverna
herb.
open at night?
They
Time
are
or-
open at
Yeah.
night, but it's primarily a daytime
A daytime
place.
place.
Oh, and there are the wild greens.
Oh.
These have been picked on the hillsides.
Yeah.
Usually, the old ladies in their black dress will go and
Early in the
dig them out of
morning.
the ground
Yeah.
and sell them in the market that very day. They're very tender.
And they're
very
good for
delicious.
you as well.
And here is our ouzo.
We must have ouzo.
Absolutely.
In an ouzeria, you have to have ouzo.
Of course.
Well.
And here is the proprietor.
Ah,
Στην υγεία σας.
στην υγεία σας και για στα χέρια σας και καλές δουλειές.
Ah, look at that moussaka. This is the real traditional thing. Look how wonderful the cheese bits are on top. I bet you don't see that very often.
No.
And the whole chunks of eggplant
Yeah.
and the meat sauce. This is usually lamb. That's the
Yeah,
traditional
minced lamb, isn't it?
preparation.
Yeah.
And I think I can smell the spicing,
Let's
which
smell.
is quite sweet spicing. Bit of
Bit of cinnamon,
a
do
bit
you
of
think?
cinnamon
Yes.
and a bit of nutmeg.
Yeah.
This
That's the
again is
secret.
northern Greece.
Yeah.
The Athenians would never put nutmeg
They
in.
wouldn't think of that, eh?
right.
Oh, we must try some of that
So.
as well.
Υπάρχει και ένα μπακαλιάρο με
Ah, and
σκορδαλιά.
here comes the poor man's lunch.
That's right.
This is cod, salted
Tricot,
cod,
isn't it? Yeah.
right? In a beautiful dough.
It's always served with Skordalia. But the
You got it.
Skordalia is not with bread. It's not garlic and bread. It's garlic and potato, isn't it, usually?
Exactly. I don't know what else we're going to order.
Huh?
Would you like a
Some
little
of
bit of the
that,
media?
Άλλο εκεί να σας
Yeah.
mussels?
Yeah.
Λίγα μύδια
Τα
να μας
μύδια με το
δώσετε.
ρύζι. Yeah.
Mussels are, of course, fished in these seas
Yeah.
very, very much. These mussels come probably from just a few miles from here.
From here, yeah.
And the traditional way of preparing them, besides in saganaki in a
Yeah.
frying pan with cheese, is with a very nice pila,
Rice
which
pilaf.
flavors the rice beautifully. The whole thing is cooked together in a big pot. The mussels give the taste, the flavor to the rice, and then You can see what a
They
beautiful
look
thing
lovely.
it is.
And
Look.
it's unusual to see many rice dishes in Greece, isn't it? So,
But this is a favorite. It's
very-
a classic, and you can see the pine nuts in there.
pine nuts in here
Yeah,
as well.
there's pine
yeah.
nuts. And of course there's lots of dill.
Yeah.
A
What's
little
the
bit
best
of
way
green
to eat
onion.
this?
It's always messy. You just
Messy.
grab it with your hand and do your
Yeah,
best.
lovely.
Delicious, isn't it? And the best part of it
Fabulous.
is that you can have a bit of ouzo or wine, never get drunk by having this wonderful food with it, and it just goes perfectly together. You've never seen any Greeks drunk in the streets, have you?
Well, in that case, can you fill my glass, please?
I certainly will. Here you go.
Pate Paristo.
Those look terrific. The thing I particularly like was that fried octopus.
Oh, my favorite was the smoked octopus. That was
Oh, was that the one hanging up on the
beautiful.
hook?
Yes.
Oh,
Have
yes.
you seen it?
Yes, I
Oh,
did. Yes, I love
lovely.
octopus. Now, I'm going to leave you to cook your Skordalia.
That's
And I'm going
right.
to come back and taste it later, if I
Great.
may.
We'll see you later with your
Great.
wines as well.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I need to call Solos for this one. Solos, would you like to come and help me? Now, I'm going to start with Skordalia sauce. Now, the main ingredients is boiled potatoes. Boil your potatoes as though you're making mash. All right? And we need 4 cloves of garlic. Now, put your garlic in one of these with a bit of salt and mash it really well. Now, you can use a blender if you like, but I prefer it this way. Right, add your garlic in your potato. I hope you're mashing well there, Solas.
I'm trying hard.
Right, we'll put a little bit of pepper. Now, the next ingredient is olive oil. Right, you probably need about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Or if you're like me, a bit more. All right, we also need a little bit of vinegar. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Now, if you don't like vinegar, use lemon juice. It doesn't matter. Also, I kept a little bit of the juice from my potatoes. So I'm going to add a little bit of this to thin my mixture up. Let's see. Shall we put a little bit more, Solos?
Just a touch.
All right.
There you go.
Right. We'll put a little bit of salt as well. Right. Did I put pepper before?
You did, yeah.
Yes. Let me just taste a little now. That was lovely. And that's it. Our Skordalia is ready. All right, Solos. Let's dish this out. Right, Charles, would you like to come and taste my Skordalia
Yes,
sauce, please?
yes,
It's
very
nearly
happy.
ready.
Yummy, yummy. Now, what's the traditional way to taste Skordalia? Should I...
Well, you can taste it with your fish if you
Yeah,
have some, or with your fried vegetables. But why don't you cut a piece of bread? Now,
Good idea.
Charles, don't
Yeah.
use a knife. Use your
Really?
hand. Yes,
Really?
Greeks never use a knife when they're cutting bread because
Really?
they say bread is blessed by
Oh,
God.
really? Okay, well,
All
here's
right.
a nice
All
little
we
bit of...
need now. Let me just decorate this before you start eating.
You're right, okay.
I want it to look,
Oh, that
look
looks beautiful.
perfect. Okay, Charles, would you like to taste that?
Yummy, with great pleasure. Oh.
Tell me what you think.
Mmm.
Nice?
Mm.
Tell me, is that the best Skordalia you ever had?
Mmm.
Oh,
Definitely.
That's all I want to
Yes, definitely. Mmm. Mmm.
Lovely, yeah?
That's wonderful. Now, if you've missed any of the amounts of the things that we've had in Lula's recipes, don't worry, because we'll come back with them later. But now it's time for a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with fried calamari, battered courgettes, and of course, I'll have some drinks to go with the food.
Oh,
Don't go
lovely.
away.
I can't wait for that. Bye. Γεια σας και καλώς ορίσατε. Hello and welcome back. Today we're making mezes. I'm going to start with the calamari. First of all, I'm going to show you how to prepare a calamari. All right? Take the whole calamari into your left hand. Pull the head off. It's easily done, actually. The whole thing comes out. There is a little bone that needs to come out. Take that out. Empty the cavity of the calamari. Right? And you can take the skin out so it's nice and white. I've got one that I have prepared earlier. The skin is out. Now, what we need to do is slice the calamari. Of course, if we're stuffing the calamari, you leave it whole, but because we're frying it in rings, you cut it in 1/2 inch wide, like this. Very easily done. Here we are. Now, I believe you can buy calamari already prepared now, so don't worry. If you don't have to do this if you don't fancy handling calamari. The next thing, of course, you need to wash your calamari very well and drain it. Now, we've got one prepared for us earlier. What we do, we season a bit of flour, plain flour, with a bit of oregano, black pepper, and salt. You can use other herbs if you want, if you don't like oregano. Put your prepared calamari into the flour. Take a sieve, put it in a sieve, and shake all the excess flour out. And then, Solos, darling, would you like to come and fry this for me?
Okay.
Get your son, if you've got a son, to fry for you. All right. It needs to be deep fried calamari. Here, Solos, would you like to do that? Right. Lovely. Great. Now, while Solos is looking after the calamari, I'm going to show you how to make a batter for our courgettes. Right, let me tidy up a little bit first because it's filthy here. Okay, all right. Now, we need a nice batter to go with our courgettes. So, here we've got 4 ounces of plain flour, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. I'm not going to put oregano this time, don't worry. 1 egg, lightly beaten. Add it in there. And I'm using some beer today, bitter. You can use bitter or lager or cider if you like. But if you prefer to drink your beer like I do, use milk or water. Now we've got 6 fluid ounces in here. Now mix it very well until you have a nice smooth batter. But don't worry if there are any lumps there. Now, the important thing to remember about this, you need to let it rest. It's like making bread or pancakes. All right, here is our batter ready. I'm not going to let you see the lumps. Now I'm going to show you how to prepare your courgettes. Cut both ends of your courgettes. Choose nice firm courgettes and not too big. And what I like to use is to use one of these potato peeler. Right? Because I want them very thinly sliced. Don't use the first one. All right. Okay, and keep doing this. Now, I think 2 medium courgettes is enough for 4 to 8 people. It depends how hungry you are, I suppose. So. Right. The next thing we need to do is put it on a kitchen paper. So, because courgettes contain a lot of water like cucumbers, so we want to drain some of the excess water. Season them again with a little bit of freshly ground black pepper, salt, and guess again, a bit of oregano. Okay, now we're ready to deep fry our courgettes. Okay. Okay. What you do you want to do it or shall I do it, Solos? Your hands are dirty already, so you may as well get dirty. Right, you dip them in your butter. That's right. And then you put them into your frying basket. Now, your frying basket must be already in the oil. Otherwise, the courgettes will stick on them. Right? Do you want to do another one, darling? I think you need about 2 or 3 in there. Okay. You don't mind telling you?
No, not at all. That's what I'm here for.
Right, do another one.
Go on then.
Just for me.
Okay. Soon as it's
make sure that all the excess butter is out as well, like this. Oh, they're looking really nice. I can't wait to taste them. Right. Well, Charles, are you ready for me?
Yes. I'm always ready for a taste of your food, Luna.
Great.
Terrific. Now, how are they
Don't they
doing?
look nice?
Oh,
well,
they look terrific. Sizzling happily away.
We've got some already.
And these are the one you...
These are, yes, Solos prepared.
Those calamari look wonderful. I'll tell you what, why don't we go to the table?
All right.
And we'll sit down and try the things.
All right.
And I will show you
Lovely. You can bring
some
those,
lovely drinks that I've got lined up. So, first of all, I just think that since we had that lovely film about the ouzeri, I'm going to pour us each a quick ouzo.
Oh,
now,
my favourite drink, Charles.
Lula, you like your ouzo with
And
water
drink
like
water.
me? Yeah.
Water and ice.
And ice, okay.
Yes.
Here's one for you.
Thank you.
Solos, what about you? Do you take it neat?
Just a bit of ice.
Bit of ice, bit of ice. Here you are,
Bit
bit of
of
ice.
ice.
Thank you.
Excuse fingers. There we are.
And a bit
And I'll
of
have a
water.
bit of ice
I'll
as well.
get the
And
water.
I like it,
you
like
want
you.
it with water.
About half and half
Yeah.
ouzo and water is
We
right
can
for me.
imagine
Perfect.
we're in Greece now.
Just about,
by
yes.
a little
Just
taverna
spread.
eating
Oh,
these
isn't it
beautiful
terrific?
mezes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yamas.
Yes.
Yamas.
Yamas.
Yamas. I love the aniseed taste.
it's
I
one
can
of
use
these
it
drinks.
as a perfume, you know. I love it so much.
It's one of these drinks. It's rather like pastis in France. It's one of these drinks that when I go on holiday to Greece, I'll have an ouzo before anything else because it just sort of sums up the flavour, one of the great flavours of Greece to me. Now I get to
Definitely.
try it with this
Yes.
marvellous Skordalia that you did a little earlier.
I'm going to put some lemon on the calamari and on the koshes because it goes really nicely. Are you going to?
I am going to,
And
yeah.
I have to say that Skordalia potato and garlic dip with this ouzo, it's
It
just
goes-
a lovely sort of contrast. A contrast between the sort of...
Do you want
Ooh,
to?
can I? Thank you very much. I love the tentacles. I really
Help
get the
yourself.
tentacles. Right, okay, now with these, you've got the ouzo, but I'm going to suggest a dry white wine. And what we're going to start off with is a muscadet.
Oh.
It's a muscadet de Sèvres sur lit. It's quite impossible. There we are. Here we are. Here's the muscadet for the camera to have a look at. This one's called Domaine de la Grange. It comes from Oddbins. It's £4.99 a bottle, so it's not a ludicrously expensive wine.
Not too
And
expensive.
it's just a nice, light, fresh, dry, not so fruity. It's quite a
No.
neutral kind of flavour, but that kind of rather neutral, dry flavour, I think, goes quite well with a lot of delicate fish dishes. And this is a very delicate dish, the
It is,
squid.
isn't
It's
it?
not
Yeah.
a huge, great,
No.
brassy flavour.
No. Really. Oh, this is nice.
And
I
just
like
try it.
dry wines. I don't like sweet
Have
wine.
a little mouthful of the squid and try it with the wine because
Goes exceptionally well.
it's this lovely, dry. Okay?
And I think you cooked it really well, Solos.
Thank you.
Right, okay, next wine.
Oh my God, I hate doing this.
It's terrible, isn't it? Anyway, this one is a Spanish white. This is a Spanish white.
Oh,
This
right.
comes from a region in northwest Spain called Rueda. It's a Marqués de Riscal, a Rueda, and it's a bit more expensive than the Muscadet.
got a lovely
This one comes from
bouquet.
Unwins. It's £6.29.
Oh, it's quite expensive.
And it's just that bit more. It's more fruity.
Yeah,
more fruity,
definitely.
with
Lovely
a
bouquet.
lovely sort of slightly smoky kind of.
You can
Also,
tell it's more expensive.
terrific with these nice,
Yeah.
delicate fish dishes.
And
And
olives.
goodness me, you've got olives, you've got tomatoes,
Olives.
you've even got a little bit of feta. Oh, all these
Beautiful things that go
wonderful,
really well.
very typical mezze dishes. Well, this is absolutely the kind of thing that I love to go with mezzes. Now,
That's right.
if you want to have a mezze party at home, here is our recipe recap coming up with details of all the foods Lula's cooked and the drinks that I've had on today's show.
That's it for today. I'll be back next time with more mezze ideas from the beautiful island of Corfu.
I love Corfu. It's such a wonderful place. That
Salty dive.
mountain ramp in the northern bit, looking out over the whole of the island, and green and lush in the way that most Greek islands really aren't, are
Yes, beautiful. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to climb the mountain, but I
Right.
had time to sunbathe.
they? Good, good.
Anyway, next time we're making stuffed vine leaves, and Solos will be helping me
And I'll
because
be
he's
back.
very good at that.
I'm going to bring some wines to go with all the food that Lula cooks. So, goodbye for now. Bye.
Addio.
when I grow up.
Granada Food and Wine.
Hello, welcome.
Yes, que καλωσορίσατε. Hello and welcome.
And we've got another program of mezes. Mezedes?
Mezedes is the
Mezedes
proper
is what
way
I have to say. That's the plural.
yes.
Okay, it's those lovely little varied dishes that you find in Greece, like Spanish tapas, and we've got a few here on
Yes, in all the
side
tavernas
here.
and ozzerias.
What's
We
that?
have
This is
here
a sausage?
luganica, that's the Greek sausages.
Yep, yep.
Beautiful.
And taram salata, that I recognise.
Yeah, the gigantes, giant beans.
In a sort of, what, spicy tomato sauce?
Well, not spicy,
Just
but
gentle
yeah,
tomato.
tomatoes.
And then these are
and then there's
those...
some feta cheese pastries.
That's right,
you
that's
know.
right. But today, you're cooking...
I'm cooking a Skordalia me aυγά,
Oh, yes.
which translates chicken livers with scrambled
Oh,
eggs.
right,
And they're
good.
delicious
Ooh,
for
that
any
sounds
meze, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And also they're excellent for light lunch.
Right,
Or even for breakfast.
Terrific,
With a glass of
terrific.
champagne.
Yeah, yummy. And Solas seems to be
Yeah.
beavering away in the background there.
Yeah, I'm keeping him busy, out
Great.
of trouble. He's stuffing the vine leaves, the dolmades.
Okay.
Because that's what we're cooking later.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Dolmades. Well, I shall be doing wines to go with your lovely food.
Yes, I can't
And
wait.
we're going to start off looking at that marvellous trip that you made to the beautiful island of Corfu.
Oh, what a
with
lovely
Venetian
island.
architecture and its lovely beaches. Quite a few visitors, but it's still a
Beautiful.
wonderful place, isn't it?
Very, very nice place. So, Rosemary, you're going to show us 3 meze dishes.
I am indeed. I'm going to use the beautiful ingredients of Greece to put together very simply, very quickly, 3 dishes that can go on the meze table. Now, firstly, the little dish that you have a nibble on,
They eat a lot
We
of
can
raw
just- a lot of
ingredients,
raw
don't
ingredients.
they, in mezedes?
and the important thing on the meze table, which translated doesn't mean exactly appetizers. What it is, it's the enjoyment of pickings, I mean one could say, but it's the enjoyment of little pieces of food. It's the appreciation of the moment. And this is what Greeks are so good at, and this is what first attracted me to Greek food, was the idea that you could take, for instance, a perfect tomato, a beautiful cucumber, and the mountain cheese, the feta, and the simple vegetables in the marketplace, and you could just put them all on a little plate, very
Yes,
simply.
seasonal vegetables.
And what you have are contrasting textures and colours. You have the soft of the tomato, you have the crunchy, peppery, and salty.
And salty, yes. Which they go together, don't
They
they?
go together very
really
well. And
Yes.
to add to that, a few olives maybe.
Yes.
And this is the simplest possible meze plate that people create.
It will make anybody happy.
and make anybody happy with a
Anybody.
little glass of ouzo or a glass of wine. We're now going to make another meze, construct another meze. It's using similar principles to before. First of all, we go for the colour, and we're using salted anchovies here.
Oh, anchovies.
And that gives us a very sharp, salty tang while we're thinking about our other food to come, which is the
very
idea.
good with the drink, isn't it?
Does
Makes you
indeed.
more thirsty.
These are the lovely red peppers that have been roasted and The skins have been taken off to makes them very mellow when that happens. So we have the sweetness and the softness. So we have the different flavors. I think we'll put some on the other side as well. I'm thinking color construction here because of course we do eat with our eyes before we do anything else.
That's right.
Then we take, you don't mind me using my fingers, do you?
No,
with this?
no. It's very Greek
We
though,
tell them,
so
right.
don't worry about that.
We take some capers which grow over every village wall. Then we're going to use the olives. These ones are as the thumbes, the dried windfall olives.
Yeah,
and
the
you can
ones
see the
that
colour
drop
textures, the ones that
from
drop.
the tree.
The colour textures are here now. And we have
beautiful.
the flavour combination too. So that's a dish that dates back well into history. No one knows quite when.
That looks very pretty.
The third meze dish is a dish with very, very good pedigree. It dates from ancient Greece, and the reason that they used to love it was because, of course, there wasn't much sweetness in those days, and they loved the contrasting chewy, the chewy textures with this sweetness that you get from dried figs. Now, when figs are dried, they're dried with bay leaves to keep the flies away. So the dish that has been passed down through a Cretan villager gave me this particular recipe is to cut dried figs in half, to put them in a little pepper, coarse cracked pepper.
Haven't seen that before.
And,
This is very new to me.
It's a lovely contrast in flavours. I'll give you one in a minute.
Yeah.
And you just toss them in a little pepper, not too much because of course our pepper's quite strong. And in this case, because the peppers are stored in bay leaves, they then serve the dish with a few bay leaves to give the representative flavour, because of course the figs have been stored in the bay leaves and they have the perfume already.
As simple as this?
It's as simple as that. It joins other meze on the table. The meze table, I think, is one of the nicest parts of Greek life. It's colourful, it's happy, and it's the biggest treat for any visitor to Greece, I think. The nicest time is the early evening, when all the dishes are laid out, you get ready to get your appetite going for your dinner much, much later on. And you can spend the whole evening nibbling away at them, really.
That's right, and they keep coming, and they never finish, do they?
They never finish, and they have all sorts of tastes and textures and colours. They're the peppers, the tursi peppers, the pickled peppers.
Pickled peppers.
And the idea of those is they whet the appetite, they make you want more. Also, on another plate, there can be the lovely green spring onions, and there's the red peppers that have been toasted on the grill. These are from cans, these particular red peppers, and they've got a different flavour. You can do them fresh, of course, as well. But what I like about these kind of dishes is you can get it out of the larder, you can get it out of the cupboard and make it instantly by just adding a few fresh things.
So you don't need
onions,
to put a lot of an effort.
Don't need a lot of effort, and it's colourful, and it's for friends.
And then, of course, you've got the dolmades there, which I love. Yes, you love them as well?
This particular one is one that's very popular in Salonika. Thessaloniki.
Yeah.
And it's a flavour of the vine leaves that impart, with the rice, it imparts that lovely astringent, sharp flavour into the rice. And it's a flavour I think you never forget once you've tasted it. Here we're using canned sardines, again, from the cupboard. But of course you can use fresh sardines as well. Just with a little olive oil, a little onion, a little parsley, a little fresh parsley. You've got the protein, which is another very important part of the table, is the goodness in it. And the enjoyment of the food, but also the beauty of it, and it's so simple. This is the
gigantes, the giant beans,
and they're dried. And in this dish, what I love also about the meze table is you can take in things from yesterday's meal.
That's right.
And for me, I'm pretty busy, and for me this is a very enjoyable part of the meze table, because you can have anything fresh that's available, but you go to the cupboard, and also the leftovers, which I adore.
And because you can eat them cold or hot.
And they taste...
That's the beauty of a meze.
And you can be talking to your friends, and they'll still sit there and they'll still taste good.
That's right. Well, this is a beautiful display and very colourful, and I'm going to start eating.
I think Corfu is such a beautiful island. It's just wonderful. And I must say, those mezes, that Rosemary Barron, author of Flavors of Greece. Flavors of Greece.
That's right.
They looked terrific, and they were such simple ingredients,
Very
straightforward,
simple.
no real hassle to prepare, but they looked delicious.
That's the nice part about mezes, you know.
Yes,
You can serve anything.
Yeah.
You know.
And she's coming back to cook again with you.
That's right.
In some future films, isn't she?
That's right.
That's great.
Yes.
And I can see on the go you have
You can only
sizzling away.
see. Can you not
I can
smell?
smell as well.
Yes.
onions in olive oil.
That's right. I'm already frying this.
Brilliant. And that's the start
with
of
a bit of olive oil,
Yeah.
a couple of tablespoons of
Yeah.
olive oil. Yes, I'm doing Skordalia meavga,
I'll leave you to it.
which translates
Can I
chicken
come and taste
livers.
later?
Yes, we scramble
Great.
less. Okay, now we're already frying our onions here. We need to brown them a little bit, or get them nicely golden brown. We add 2 cloves of garlic, finely chopped, in that. And now we need to add our chicken livers, but before that I'll show you how to cut the chicken livers. You need to cut them into little bits and pieces, you know, really small, 5 pieces, like that. Now sometimes chicken livers have this green stuff on them. Take them out because they're very, very bitter. Right? Chicken livers are cut. We need to have our heat quite high, and then we add our livers. Now you can use lamb's livers if you want, or calf's livers to do this dish. Right, we need to fry them very fast, as I said, because we want to brown them, but still, we want them still soft inside and succulent. Right. Now I'm going to season them with a little bit of salt, freshly ground salt, and lots of black pepper, I love, especially with this dish. A little bit of oregano, just a touch. Keep mixing. And they're getting nicely brown now. They're changing color. Right. While they're cooking, I'll scramble my eggs. Now we've got 4 eggs here, which is enough really for 4 people. Or if you're really, really hungry, probably just for 2 people. Right. Right. We'll add our eggs. Now, it's like making scrambled eggs here. When the eggs start to set, then you start mixing them. Oh, and I must tell you, they smell delicious. And believe me, they taste nice as well. The eggs are starting to set. I'm just going to taste a little bit, just to make sure there is a lot of enough seasoning in there. Maybe a little bit more pepper. Charles, would you like to come? The chicken livers are nearly done.
I've been
and
smelling these and thinking,
you can taste them.
when is she going to love it?
Don't they look nice?
Do you want to-
All right,
There
would
we
you
are.
like to pass me the...
Here's a
Let's
plate.
get rid of this.
Look at that. Oh, God, they look wonderful.
Don't they look nice?
Absolutely terrific.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lula, those look just terrific.
And they smell nice, don't
And
they?
not, I mean, the chicken livers are just sort of nicely done, not hard.
No, you don't
just
want them...
gently done.
Yeah. You have to treat liver
And what
this
you putting
way.
on? You're putting
I'm just
on
going to
some-
decorate it with a little bit of chopped parsley.
Terrific.
And of course, it
Yep.
goes beautiful with some lemon.
Oops.
If you like to, shall I squeeze a little bit of lemon on
Yeah.
there before you
It's-
stir it?
Okay,
Here we are.
let's have a tiny taste. Mmm.
Nice?
Mmm.
Enough
That's
salt
really
and pepper
delicious.
for you?
Absolutely perfect. And just that little bit of oregano in there.
Just a
You
touch.
can really taste it. It's absolutely terrific.
If you
This
put
is a
too
lovely
much,
dish.
you can spoil it, you see.
Brilliant dish. Well,
Lovely.
we're going to take a quick break now. Lula, in the next half, is going to cook one of my very favourite stuffed vine leaves,
Yes,
dolmades, and I've got
dolmades
some
or dolmadakia.
terrific wines to go with it. See you in a couple of minutes.
See you. Hello and welcome back. Today we're making mezes, and I'm going to make something really Greek and wonderful. Dolmades, stuffed vine leaves. Now, stuffed vine leaves are very popular in Greece, so if you have visited Greece, you probably ate some dolmades. Now, to make dolmades, you need vine leaves. Now, these are fresh vine leaves from my neighbor's garden, actually. So you can use fresh vine leaves if you want, but you have to blanch them in hot water first. Or you can use vine leaves in brine, which you can get all through the year. And even in Greece, they use this in winter when the fresh ones are not available. Now, again, you need to wash these in warm water a couple of times to take all the salt away, because they're very, very salty. Now, I'll get with my ingredients. We need about half a pound of lamb, minced lamb. It doesn't matter if it's a bit fatty. Don't worry about it. It's a bit like me. You need a small chopped onion. It's a very easy recipe because everything goes in. We need pudding rice, all right? You need about 2 ounces of pudding rice in there. 1 or 2 tomatoes, finely chopped. Fresh tomatoes is better. We also need some tomato puree. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that because I feel like it today. Also, we need juice of half a lemon. Do you like the way I'm squeezing the lemons? Right, need that. We also need lots of chopped parsley, probably 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley. I love the herbs in dolmades, and also I'm using chopped mint, fresh mint again. Again, the same amount, but if you don't like mint, don't put it. Right, the next thing we need is freshly ground black pepper, lots of it again, because I love pepper. And you need about a teaspoon of salt. You don't want too much salt, especially if you're using the vine leaves in brine. Now, all you need to do now is mix all the ingredients together. But it's nice to put a couple of tablespoons of oil as well to moist the mince, especially if you're, people are very healthy now when they eat a lot of mince without fat. So it's not much fat in there, so you need to add a little bit of fat in there. Right, our mixture is ready now. I usually get Solos to mix this with his hands, but he's busy stuffing the dolmades. Would you like to bring the dolmades here, Solos?
Yep.
Right, our mixture is ready, and it smells beautiful, wonderful. Now, Solos has been already rolling some dolmades. Have you seen how nicely they have to go into the casserole dish? Right. Now, a lot of people are scared to roll dolmades, but they're very, very easily done. You take your vine leaf, the shiny side down, the rough side facing you. Use your hands. Take a little bit of mixture, maybe a teaspoon of mixture. Roll to cover your mince. Bring the sides up inwards, the side of the vine leaf, and then roll it into little parcels like that. Now, it's very important to put them closely together so they don't open and break when they're cooking. Now, the next thing we need to do is to add enough warm water to just cover the dolmades, only to just cover them, like this, right? We need to use the other half of lemon juice. Right, take the pip out. A bit of olive oil again, it gives it that beautiful shine. All right, a couple of bay leaves. You can season it again a little bit. And it's very important to invert a small plate on top. So when they're cooking, they're not moving everywhere and breaking. All right, we've got one that we prepared earlier here. Put that there. Now, you need to cook your dolmades for at least 1 hour. All right, let's see how these are doing now. Charles, I'm going to bring you your favorite dish.
Excellent.
Right.
Terrific.
Oh, look at them.
Okay.
They look lovely.
They look very good. I'm getting my wines ready. Come over here and have a glass of wine.
I will do. Let me just put some of this. All
Okay.
right. Right, Solos, would you like to join? Look at this.
They look wonderful.
Oh, they're lovely.
Right, now the absolutely tip-top wine, I think, for dolmades is Retsina.
Oh, I agree with you.
Absolutely terrific. Thank you very much, Solos. Retsina. So I've got this one. It's Kotakis Retsina. It's very good price, £3.15. You find it all over the place.
That's right.
All sorts of supermarkets. It's a very decent Retsina, and I think that it just goes, brilliantly.
Goes well with the
Brilliantly.
dolmades.
This lovely old, I mean, it's such a traditional style of wine. This dating from the days when wine really was not reliable, and so they used to use resinated containers to preserve it.
That's
And it gave
right.
it the flavour of resin.
Yeah.
And so you've got this piney flavour.
It's
So-
still the most popular wine in Greece, you know. Everybody
not
makes
surprised.
it at home as well.
Terrific. Okay, we got two more wines to look at.
Ah,
Now, I've got a lovely English wine here. This is a wine that comes from Sussex. It's made from a grape variety called the Séval Blanc. It is more expensive. It's a little older. This 1992 breaky bottom Séval Blanc. It's a lovely, crisp, dry white wine. Again, I think just the kind of thing for dolmades. How do you like it?
It's nice. It goes very well. What do you think, Sal?
I think it goes. It's got quite a high acidity, but it's a lovely sort of gentle, honeyed flavour. Very good. It is quite difficult to find. You can get it at the vineyard, a few local shops in Sussex, but it's a terrific wine.
Very nice.
Okay, and the third wine I've got.
I like it so much. I'm going to have a bit.
Glad you like it. He lives not far from me in Sussex.
Oh,
now
right.
this one is Italian. So we're
Italian one.
running around the houses. It's the Soave, and it's a Soave Classico Superiore, and it comes from Asda. It's $3.99, and Soave relatively neutral, high acidity, and it's got again just enough acidity and enough fruit to go well with the dolmades. Okay.
Oh, I agree with you.
So anyway, pens and paper out. It's time for the recipe recap, where you get all the details of the ingredients in Lula's recipes and of my wines. That's all today. Next time, we're going to be back with a new little mini-series about breads and pastas. Now, you're going to be cooking some bread in the studio, aren't
Yes,
you,
I'm going to
Lula?
make some Kouloura, which is bread drinks covered with sesame seeds. Delicious.
And you made a film on Evia with a little old lady with an enormous bread oven.
She wasn't so little,
Oh.
but yes.
The bread oven was enormous.
Oh, she made those enormous Greek breads.
Terrific.
Fantastic.
And I've got some bread oven to taste. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Granada Food and Wine.
Hello, welcome.
Γεια σας και καλώς ορίσατε.
Now, it's bread and pasta time now. Three episodes we're going to be doing.
That's
and we're going to
right.
start off
We're
talking about bread today,
Yes,
aren't
well,
we?
we're going to make this beautiful Kouloura.
Right,
You
these
know,
are these
the
little...
bread rings, as
Yep.
they're called, covered in sesame seed. We're also going to be making daktilo, which is the
Which is this
finger
one at the
bread,
end. Yep,
yes.
right.
And afterwards, we'll be making some bishirs, which are pancakes.
Oh, right. Now, you've got a fascinating array of ingredients here.
I do,
some of
very
which I really do
unusual.
not
Yes.
recognize. I mean, this, you see, this little thing which
Yeah.
says
Gammas-
gum mastic.
Yeah, which is mastica in Greek.
What's that used for?
Well, it's used to flavour the bread.
To flavour,
the bread.
right.
And this comes from
Sorry.
Hio, the island of
here?
Hio,
Oh, really?
yes. And it grows in a evergreen tree.
And what are these little
And this,
nutty things?
This is meklebi. Again, it's got a beautiful aroma when
Right.
it's ground.
Uh-huh.
And again, is used to flavour breads.
Yeah.
And sweet breads. And this is actually the kernel of a black cherry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, bread is incredibly important within the Greek culinary
Very.
tradition. Well, not just culinary, but also the whole tradition of Greece.
That's
I mean, it's
right.
meant to ward off evil spirits. It's the ultimate expression of hospitality, really, isn't
That's
it?
right. Well, you can imagine a Greek person sitting down for a meal without bread. It has to have bread. It's very important. And also, in the olden days, when women were pregnant, they used to put a piece of bread under the pillow. They believed that it ward the evil spirits away. And they
Really?
still practice it, actually,
really?
in villages.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So bread does play a very important part
And the whole
in
idea
Greek
of
culture.
breaking bread with friends and
That's
with,
right.
with guests.
Especially
too.
hot bread. If the hot bread comes out of the oven, you never use a knife to cut the hot bread. You always
Right.
have to break it with your hands. You know, because
Really?
the bread is
'Cause that's
blessed
somehow
by
violating
Jesus
the bread if you use
by
a knife.
God. Yes, yes.
Right.
And
How
yeah,
interesting.
I know there's a lot of myths and stories.
Well, look, you made a film on near Charistos,
That's
didn't you?
right. Yes,
And
a little
you
village
saw-
in Garisto.
That's right, and you saw an old lady making bread in an extremely traditional way.
That's right. Well, it wasn't unusual for me because
No.
I remember my grandmother and mother cooking in such way. My grandmother actually used to bake bread every Saturday.
Right.
And she had a furno, which is a clay
One of
oven in the
those
garden.
outside ovens,
And
yes.
she had 3 boys and 1 daughter. And she made, even the boys help her with making the bread. You
Pretty
know, which
unusual
was
to
really,
see
yes,
men in a kitchen.
very unusual because Greek men, you know, they don't usually like to help in the kitchen. But she actually made them.
Solos,
you know.
I would say,
Well,
is a very notable exception. There he
that's
is,
right.
kneading away in the
Well,
background.
I'm bringing him up right, just like my grandmother, you see.
Nothing like it, nothing like it. Well, let's have a look at this old lady near Charistos.
Kyria Vassos is going to take us into her little kitchen and she's going to make us traditional Greek bread. Ναι, θα μας κάνετε ψωμί, ελληνικό ψωμί. Εντάξει, να πάμε μέσα να μας δείξετε. So she's putting the flour in a sieve, a big sieve. Sifting the flour, yeah. Πόσο αλεύρι?
1 kilo.
1 kilo. So it's 1 kilo flour. So she's pouring the cold water into the flour,
Βάζουμε τη
Yeah.
μαγιά.
mixing the yeast with the water,
Λιώνουμε καλά.
starting to introduce the flour into the water.
Εκείνη τα χρόνια όλοι έτσι τα κάνανε.
Ναι. Kyria Vassos is actually telling me that in olden days everybody had to bake the bread at home. I remember my grandmother baking bread in Cyprus, and everybody had to help with the baking. And it was lovely when the bread came out of the oven, and we all used to rush and cut a big chunk of bread and put a piece of cheese in it and eat it. It's lovely, the smells and brings a lot of memories. This is lovely. Yeah. We need it. Do you want a little bit flour? Do you want a levry?
No.
Εντάξει. Τελείωσες τώρα?
Εγώ τελείωσα.
It's finished now, the bread. All right. Place bread in one of these special containers, wooden containers. And
Και πάλι για να
τώρα τι κάνουμε, να το σκεπάζουμε.
το σκεπάζουμε
Ναι.
και μετά ανεβαίνει, φουσκώνει. Μετά από 2 ώρες
Yeah.
γίνεται έτσι.
Yeah, so we have to cover the bread now to keep it warm. And we keep it like that for about an hour, she says sometimes 2 hours, it depends, until it rises into a double ball, like this one, before you bake it into the
Είναι
oven.
φράτο.
Yeah.
Πάρτε τα υπόλοιπα εσύ και πες.
The bread is ready, we're off to the oven now. Εντάξει, πηγαίνουμε. I don't know how she does it every Saturday actually. Είναι μακριά, ακόμα και να είναι. Here is oven. Okay. Τώρα τι θα κάνουμε, θα το βάλουμε το ψωμί μες στο φούρνο.
Τώρα θα πανίσω εγώ.
Oh, the bread has risen. It's gone huge. Είναι πολλά μεγάλα, And she's making those slushes so the bread won't rise too much. I can see the bread baking already. It's getting a lovely crust on the bottom. Can't believe it. Okay, the breads are ready and it's time to eat and taste all these lovely goodies. Εντάξει. Again, this is delicious. It's lovely, isn't it? Ναι, ωραίο. Πολύ ωραίο. Για τα χέρια
Ωραία,
σας.
ευχαριστώ πολύ.
I think the best way to finish this is with a glass of homemade retsina. Ορίστε, κυρία Πάσο, και στην υγειά μας.
It's very interesting because that outside bread oven, it's rather like the kind of oven you use to bake pizza,
That's right, yes.
which is of course a kind of bread.
Yes, but much bigger.
Yeah, very traditional there.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay, Lula, I'll leave you to get on with the bread
Okay,
making.
Charles.
And Solos kneading away in the
Yes,
background.
I've got to keep him busy.
Absolutely.
See you, Charles. Right, let's get on with our Kouloura recipe, our bread rings. All right? Now, first of all, what you need to do, you need 4 ounces of sesame seeds. You also need a couple of tablespoons of black cumin seeds and the same amount in aniseed seeds. I love the smell of aniseed. Now, you can get this in your continental shops or Greek shops, okay? So don't worry about them. Now, what you do, you put them in a small saucepan, cover them in water, bring them to the boil, only 5 minutes, and then you need to drain them. Now, we do that because we want them to stick on our dough. If you use them dry, they won't stick into the dough. Right. Once you do that, as I say, you have to drain them well, and then I'm going to lay them on this little tray. Okay. Now, these little things, Koulouragia, are written like croissants in France. They're written in the morning and they're dipped in the coffee or tea. Right. I'm going to show you how to make the dough now. You need about 1.5 pounds of strong flour. Sieve it in a large bowl. And also we need some semolina, about 2 ounces of fine semolina. The other ingredient is easy blend yeast. Now you need just 1 sachet of that. And it makes life easy. Much easier to use dry yeast. Put those little dishes away. Now, we also need about 2 teaspoons of sugar. 2 teaspoons of sugar in there. A little bit of salt. I use about a teaspoon of salt. Mix them all in. And also, I'm going to use a mastic gum and also the meklebi. What you need to do is put about a pinch of this in one of these pestle and mortar things and a pinch of the mastic with a little bit of flour. It helps them grind better, and grind them quite well. These are already been partly ground, so we don't need to work too hard on that. And put that with your flour. This will make the bread smell gorgeous. It's got a lot of aroma there. Now the next thing we need is olive oil. You need about 3 large tablespoons of olive oil. Add that in and mix it first with the wooden spoon. And this is not virgin olive oil, it's just ordinary olive oil. Next thing we need is about 7 fluid ounces of warm milk. Now, don't use hot milk, because this will kill the yeast and your bread won't rise at all. And we need the same amount of water. Mix this in with the wooden spoon first. And when the flour and water has been blended together, you have to use your hand, right? Get your hand in there and mix it all together until you get a lovely dough. Now you may need to, if it's too soft like mine is, you probably need a bit more flour. So always have flour handy. If it's too thick, then add more water. Right, this needs kneading for at least 5 to 10 minutes. The next thing we need is to put it in a board, wooden board. Flour the wooden board. It's a messy job, but I think it's nothing nicer than homemade bread, and the smell that comes out of your kitchen when you're making homemade bread. Oh. Right? Now, after you knead this for about 5-10 minutes, knead it with the back of your palms of your hands, like that. Oh, my grandmother used to do this. You have to cover it and leave it to rise for about an hour. It has to rise double in bulk. In bulk? All right. After the break, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful kouloura and the finger bread. So see you after the break.
Its own.
Hello and welcome back. Now, before the break, I was kneading some dough to make kouloura, which is bread rings, which they're this. All right? Now, we had to leave our dough to rise until it was double, and it is double. It's been resting for an hour now. So now I'm going to show you how to shape them into these round rings or bracelets. Right. Okay. First of all, you have to roll them between your hands like that, and then roll them into your board. You can make them as big as you want or as small as you want. It doesn't matter, but I usually make them about 11 inches long. Like that. And then you join the two pieces together, forming a ring, like that. Then we have to put them in our sesame mixture to coat them. That creates a lovely pattern on top of them. Also, they'll be nice and crunchy after they're cooked. Do these two as well that I've got here. Like that. And you can also make them into this shape. Like that. Any shapes you want, actually. Let the kids help you, you know. And it's fun for them. That's it. Once you've done that, you fill your tray. Make sure you oil your tray, by the way. Put them in the oven at 190, gas mark 5, for about 30 minutes. I'm going to put those in my oven now. Oh, the smell's coming out of here. And these are the ones that we've been baking. There we are. Don't they look lovely? And they smell absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to eat them, actually. I'm sure Charles can't wait to eat them. Can you smell them, Solos? Right, now I'm going to make you a simple recipe. Bishias, pancakes, Cypriot pancakes. Solos, how are you doing with it? Can you come and start trying them, please?
Got a few.
Right, this is another simple recipe. You need about half a pound of strong flour. Sieve it into a nice large bowl. Now we sieve the flour in case there are any lumps in there that we don't need them, and there seem to be few. Okay, now we need a little bit of salt, half a teaspoon of salt. We also need a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. That will make it, give it a lovely flavor. We also need, not vegetable oil not olive oil this time, but vegetable oil. We need about 4 tablespoons of that. Mix it with a wooden spoon first. Then add your water. You need about half a pint of cold water. Start mixing it with a wooden spoon. And then you have to mix it with your hands. This is the time you get your hands dirty. A lovely messy job, but it's worth all the effort you put into this. Kids love these pancakes. You do, don't you, Solos?
Yes, I do.
And Solos is frying some for me already. Right. Once you do this, and you have a nice dough, like I have one here, you need to rest this for about half an hour. Cut a little piece of the prepared dough, flour your board, just a little piece you want, like that. Shape it into a nice round disc, like this, in the palms of your hands. How are you doing, Solos?
Okay.
I'm going to give you this one in a minute, Solos, to fry. Right, Solos, can I give you this one to fry now?
You can. I'll just take this one out for you.
Right, drain it, that's right, make sure. You have to make sure that all the oil goes out.
Okay.
It's drained. And I give you this one, Solos, to fry.
Right. Thank you.
Well, they look very, very nice, Solos.
Thank you.
Would you like to pass them here for me now?
Sure,
the cooked ones. Now, all you need to do, you have to put them on some kitchen paper. Hi, Charles. Come and see these beautiful pancakes. Now, we need to finish them with a bit of honey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, drizzle some honey on them.
Wow.
Oh, you know, kids love them.
I can quite see, yes, my kids would
And
be mad.
you know what they do when they're making a pie or something, and they've got some pastry left. They just make these pancakes, and all we need to do now is sprinkle some chopped almonds or ground walnuts, anything really.
Terrific. These look absolutely sensational. Lula, after you.
All right, thank you.
Now, what I've got here is not really, it hasn't really been chosen to match these because I thought, what do you put with bread? But what I've thought would be fun to do would be to have a look at a particular wine type, which is very particular to Greece, to the region of Patras, Mavrodaphnia Patras.
Yes.
Now, I've always thought of this as being a very traditional style of Greek wine.
It is, you're right.
Well, actually, it's not terribly traditional in the sense that it hasn't existed for very long. It only started, this style of red wine was only started in 1861. And when you consider how long the Greeks have been making wine, it's extraordinary.
The smell reminds me of the Cypriot Koumandaria. Yes? The communion wine.
The big difference, though, between Koumandaria from Cyprus is that that's made from dried grapes, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
This is made from very ripe grapes, but it's actually fortified. You add alcohol partway through the fermentation, which stops the fermentation and leaves unfermented grape sugar in the wine. So you've got this wine, which comes from Patras.
I love this wine.
It's terrific, isn't it? It's a great aperitif, possibly as an alternative to port, something like... Actually, I'm going to try one of your Kouloura
I think it's best to try that first, yes.
Before we actually try the sweet bread.
Now they're still warm.
Mmm. Mmm.
Huh?
Can you
It's
taste
got a
the...
lovely sort of perfume to
Yeah,
it.
it's the cumin and the mechlepi.
Mmm, terrific.
And the
Okay,
sesame.
that's the first one. That's the kambas, Barbara
I'm
Daphne.
going to have a little bit more of this.
About £4.50 to £5 a bottle.
I love it. It reminds
This
me
one
of
then.
Union wine.
This one is the Kortakis.
Yeah, another...
This is the best distributed. You'll find this E.H. Booth, Quick Save, William Morrison, between $3.75 and $3.99. Very good value, really.
Oh, another...
Quite
lovely-
young, sweet.
I like
And this one, this is the aristocrat actually, but unfortunately we can't get it here in Britain.
Can we not?
No, this comes from the cooperative at Patras, Patraiki, and this,
Yeah. Oh, let's
it's older. It's older. Let's just try this.
try some of our pancakes.
Lovely. Lovely nutty flavour of this.
And light, it's not heavy.
Very good. Goodness me. Well, if you want to try your hand at traditional bread making, here's today's recipe recap together with details of my wines. Well, that's it for today. Next time, Lula's going to be going to Metsovo, which is a lovely town right
Beautiful.
way out west, isn't it?
That's right, mountains.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
lots of mountains.
And it's all
nice and
pasta all
green.
the way.
That's
You're
right.
making pasta on the show. The
That's
film was
right.
about how to make pasta.
How to make drahana,
Terrific.
which is wheat pasta.
And I'll
Yeah.
have wines to go with it. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Granada Good Life. Food and wine.
Hello, welcome.
Γεια σας και καλώς ορίσατε.
Now, it's on with the pasta today.
Pasta, we've got
Pasta,
two
pasta, pasta.
wonderful dishes.
Now, let me just
Made
stop
with
you,
pasta.
because I think of pasta as being supremely Italian. I didn't really realise that the Greeks did
Italian?
pasta. Well, sorry.
Italian?
Yeah, well, sorry.
We've been eating pasta for many, many years, do you mind?
Oh, okay, fine.
Probably
Well,
before the
Greeks eat pasta too.
Italians.
Ah, well, there we are.
I'm not
So
going to
here we
argue
are.
about that, Charles.
No, of course not. of
No,
course
no.
not. But this, I mean, this pasta here
Yeah,
just
this-
looks terrific.
And it's so different, isn't it? These
Yeah.
actually, these are hilopitas, the Greek pasta.
Hilopitas.
And a lot of people still make it at home.
Right.
Lovely
Oh,
pasta.
that
And
that has a sort of homemade look to it.
it does, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's terrific.
And this comes from Metsovo, actually, this pasta.
Oh yes, right
Yeah,
up in
lovely,
the
yes.
far west, up in the wild and woolly west near
That's
Albania.
right, yes.
Yeah.
Lots
but
of mountains.
And you're going to be cooking a Corfu dish, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna, to start with, I'm gonna make Metsovo pasta with
Right.
bacon and tomatoes.
Lovely, good.
Lovely pasta. And then to follow, I'm gonna make pastizzata, which is a Corfu speciality.
Which is with
it's-
chicken, is it?
Well, they can make it with beef,
Right,
with lamb
yeah.
or chicken, but today I'm making it with chicken
Oh, it
anyway.
makes a nice
And lots
change.
of pasta again, but
Yeah.
different pasta, not hilopitas,
Yeah.
just ordinary pasta.
Good. Okay. Well, I'll have wines to go with them. But to start with, there's a rather fun film about pasta making in Metsovo.
Katerina is making drahana, which is a type of pasta, a very ancient and traditional food eaten all over Greece. So here we've got ground wheat that's been washed and dried beforehand and then ground, and she's going to add a bit of salt in here. Yeah. Τώρα τι κάνεις?
Τώρα θα ρίξω το γάλα.
Να σου βάλω?
Ναι.
Πόσο να σου βάλω?
Ρίξε εσύ.
And here we've got some sheep's milk, and I'm helping her.
Θα σου πω εγώ.
All right.
Κι άλλο. Ρίξε κι άλλο.
She's going to mix this and make a dough. This is cold milk, by the way. Now, drahana is usually made into a soup, which is used in winter time, really, and it's very, very nice. But also, they use it to stuff vegetables instead of rice, or I believe they actually use it to make meatballs, köftedes. Instead of using bread with the meat, they use drahana. Όχι άλλο, εντάξει. So she has to mix this really well. Τώρα τελείωσε.
Τελείωσε τώρα από το ζύμωμα. Θα το αφήσουμε λίγο για να ρουφήξει το γάλα.
Ναι, δεν θα βάλουμε άλλον τώρα.
Όχι άλλον, αυτός είναι.
It's quite simple really. It's finished now, believe it or not. When the kneading process is finished, Katerina is saying usually they cover this and they leave it to rest in a dark place, in a shady place for 2 hours. Otherwise, this will change color. It'll become black, and we don't want that. We want this beautiful golden color in our drahana. Anyway, we don't have 2 hours, so we're going to show you how it's done. Katerina, μετά τι κάνουμε?
Μετά θα πάρουμε το κόσκινο και θα το τρίψουμε.
Ναι, all right. She's going to put it in this sieve, special sieve. Yeah?
Και το τρίβουμε.
She's got to sieve all the drahana, so it breaks into very fine things. It's like breadcrumbs, actually. Θέλεις βοήθεια? She doesn't want help. She's an expert. Σου βάλω, Κατερίνα? Εντάξει, να σε βοηθήσω. Είναι καθαρά τα χέρια μου.
Δεν πειράζει, όλα καθαρά τα έχουμε, δεν έχουμε πιάσει τίποτα.
Κατερίνα, πώς το χρησιμοποιάτε αυτό?
Αυτό για σούπα και για πίτα.
Ναι. In Metsovo, here, they use it for soup and for pies, which is very unusual. I haven't heard that before. Now, this is the sweet version of drahana, which is made with fresh milk. It's quite soury, actually, because it's dried in the sun, so the sun turns the milk sort of soury, and that's what gives drahana the distinctive taste. Κατερίνα, θέλω να σας ευχαριστήσω πάρα πολύ.
Και εγώ επίσης.
Now that trahana is one of the most traditional kinds of Greek pasta.
It is, yes. It's made usually in the summer when there is lots of milk available,
Right.
and sometimes they let the milk go sour first before
yeah.
they mix it with wheat, or sometimes they mix it with the semolina,
Uh-huh.
and then they sort of shape it into little bowls.
Right.
And then the next thing is to dry it. You need to dry it, and
sure.
then in the olden days, when I lived in Cyprus, my grandmother used to make me climb up the stairs, top of the roof, to put them to dry. Yes.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the evening, you had to bring them down.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the
otherwise
cats
it would
will
go
eat
down.
them.
Oh, the cats?
The cats will eat them. But
Oh
guess
my
what
goodness.
I used to eat too? I used to eat most of it.
A pretty efficient way
And
of
the
drying
poor
it.
cats used to get the blame.
Oh, well, there we are. I'm going to leave you to get on with your delicious dish, and I'll see you later.
See you later. All right. I'm going to start with the Metsova style noodles, all right? First of all, we need a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. You don't need a lot of olive oil because we've got some bacon here. We've got about 5 ounces of streaky bacon. Cut it into small pieces and then add it into your olive oil. Mix it together and cook it for a couple of minutes until the bacon starts changing color. Once you do that, you add 1 onion finely chopped. Mix that in again. And we also need 1 clove of finely chopped garlic, or you can put 2 if you want. It depends how much you like garlic. Right, you need to cook those for a couple of minutes until they start changing color and the onions are nice and transparent. And then we need to put 2 fresh tomatoes, peeled and finely chopped. Now, you can either put them in water to take the skin off, or you can peel them, like the Greeks do. It's much easier. Just get a sharp knife and peel your tomatoes. We also need a teaspoon of tomato puree. This will thicken the sauce, also give it a lovely color. Season it with salt and pepper. We use some freshly ground black pepper here. And some salt. And the next thing I have to do now is to put 1 pint of hot stock. I'm using chicken stock here, but you can use meat stock if you want, or vegetable stock. It's up to you. Or water. It doesn't matter. Or even better, add some wine. All right. Once this comes to the boil, you add 8 ounces of hilobites. Those are the Greek noodles or pasta from Metsovo. Now you can get this in Greek shops. And some big department stores have them as well now. Here we are. Mix them all in. You don't need to boil them first like other pasta. You can cook them straight from raw. Mix them all in. Add a little bit of parsley. Right, all we need to do now is lower the heat, cover them, and let them simmer for 20 to 25 minutes. Stir from time to time so the pasta doesn't stick to your saucepan. And after 20 to 25 minutes, the pasta should absorb all the liquid and it should look like this. Right, I'm just going to put it into my serving dish. Doesn't that look lovely? And of course, I need to put some some cheese on top as well. There we are. Now, I've got some lovely Greek cheese here. It's called kefalotiri, which means head cheese. And grate that and put lots of it on top of your pasta. And also, I'm going to put a bit of chopped parsley. Oh, doesn't this look lovely?
Needed someone to come and try it.
I always need somebody to try my
So glad.
food. Otherwise, it's not good cooking, is it?
Oh,
With
no,
nobody
absolutely not.
to
No.
taste it.
I'll tell you what, you have the fork and I'll have a spoon.
Oh, all right, Charles. Make
Now,
sure you get some of the
cheese.
cheese as well, because it's a beautiful... What does this pasta remind you of?
Tagliatelle.
Yeah. That. It tastes better than...
That's really lovely. It's really quite a dense texture, this.
It is, isn't it?
And it's actually slightly less slippery than Italian pasta.
Yes.
And I must say, the mixture of the tomatoey sauce
Yeah, and the bacon.
and the cheese and the bacon is just terrific.
And it's so easy to make. And
Doddle.
you know, the kids love this.
Yeah, yeah. Terrific. Well, we're going to take a quick break now. Back in a couple of minutes with chicken and macaroni. That's pastizzada and the wines to go with it.
Yeah,
See you
lovely.
then.
See you after the break. Welcome back and hello. I'm now going to show you how to make pastizzada, which is a speciality of Corfu. Now, I'm using for my pastizzada today, I'm using chicken, but of course you can use lamb or beef. Now, you need a medium chicken, cut into nice portions, remove the skin, and then what you need to do is sprinkle a little bit of paprika on top of your chicken and a little bit of salt all over. Then, once you do that, you need to heat about half a cup of olive oil into a nice large frying pan and fry your chicken portions until nice and golden, like ours are. Like this. Once you've done this, you remove your cooked chicken into a casserole dish. Now this will be enough for 4 to 6 people, depending how hungry you are. Right, I'm going to get rid of my oil. Then I finish the rest of my casserole. Now, in the same saucepan, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil in there, just a touch of olive oil. You need about 2 medium onions, blended, not finely chopped, but blended, right? Mix that with your chicken. And also we need 2 cloves of garlic, blended. Need that in there as well. And now I'm going to add few allspice berries, just a couple of them. But if you don't have them, use cinnamon sticks, a couple of cinnamon sticks and a couple of cloves. Right, and also we need a couple of bay leaves in there. And I'm also going to add 1 chili, green chili, or you can use red chili, it doesn't matter. It will make it slightly spicy because this meal is slightly spicy. Once your onion starts changing color, you add a cup of red wine. That will give you a lovely color. Now you usually leave this to boil a little bit so the alcohol is burned and you've got the flavors there of the wine but no alcohol. And we also need quite a lot of quantity of tomatoes. I'm using 2 tins here, 2 large tins of tomatoes, blended tomatoes. Right, mix this in. Now I'm also going to add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You need cinnamon with this meal. And now I'm going to add some salt, a little bit more salt. And add some freshly ground black pepper. Some parsley. Couple of tablespoons of chopped parsley. And I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar. Because we've got a lot of tomatoes there, we want to take all the sour taste of the tomatoes away. Right? And we need to cover our chicken with some water, about a pint of water, but if it looks as though it's going dry and after half an hour, add more water. Right? Now you need to simmer this, bring it to the boil, cover it and simmer it for at least 40 minutes or until your chicken is cooked. All right? Now, while the chicken is cooking, we boil some pasta. Ordinary spaghetti pasta, or you can use the thick version. You boil it and then you drain your pasta. We drain it because we don't need the stock. Let it drain for a few minutes. And then I've got my pastitsio here that we prepared earlier. It's nice and thick. The sauce has reduced to a lovely thick, and it looks lovely. I mean, the colors are fantastic. Hi Charles, I'm just going to taste this and see what it tastes like.
Do you want me to put this
lovely.
into this serving
Please, Charles,
dish?
could you help me?
Yeah, sure. Into here?
All right, yes. Pour the pasta in there. And now I've got to remove my chicken.
Yep. Take out the bits.
Yes, and what we're going to do, Charles, we're going to use the sauce, this beautiful sauce, to mix our pasta in.
Oh, yummy.
Yes.
That sounds terrific.
And what they used to do in Corfu, they used to serve the pasta first.
Right.
get everybody full,
And then
they won't eat
then
much
they didn't
meat.
have to have so much meat. That's cunning, isn't it?
We don't need to
Brilliant.
do that.
So do you want me to empty
Yes,
that in and
please.
give it a
I
good...
think I've got
That's
another
it?
piece
Oops,
of
one more.
chicken there. Here
There
we
we
are.
are.
Would you like to?
Okay, let's give that...
Would you like to
There we are.
do that for me, Charles? Thank you.
Look at that. This
Isn't that
is going to
lovely?
be fascinating with my wines.
Now, would you like?
Okay.
All right. No, we need to toss
Can I give
that,
it a bit of a
Charles.
turn round?
And I'm also going to add
Oops.
some cheese.
Last
Get
bit of
a-
chicken.
Oh, another piece of chicken. Just toss it for me, Charles.
Yep.
Lovely. Put a bit of cheese as well. Take the bay leaf out.
Yep.
I nearly call it vine leaf.
Yeah, quite. Getting so
Big
excited
enough,
by the
doesn't
thought of
it?
my
I know.
wines, aren't you?
I love pasta.
Yeah, look at that.
Isn't that
that
nice?
terrific? Bit more cheese on the top and with
Yeah,
that.
and now we're going to add our chicken on top. And that's how you serve
Oh, I
it.
see, right.
Serve it more.
Terrific.
And more cheese on top.
Yep.
And that's it. We can go and eat it
Okay.
now.
Right, off you go. I'll bring the food.
Thank you, Charles.
And I've got some exciting wines waiting for it.
Great.
There we are.
Right,
Ah,
it's a big
look at that.
bowl.
It is a big bowl.
Enough to
Do you think
feed
this is
the
going to be
big
enough
family.
for us?
Oh, yes.
Just.
Just
Okay,
enough.
right, I'm going to kick in on the wines. I'm starting off with a fabulous Greek wine. It's a dry wine. Let me just give you some before you start
Okay.
serving.
All right.
And-
What would you like to try first?
I'd like to try the chicken,
The
please.
chicken. Okay, Charles.
This is
Yes,
called
tell me about the
Malagousia.
wine. Yes.
It's called Malagousia. It's made by Domaine Caras, which is this very, very innovative estate up in the Chalkidiki Peninsula.
Yeah.
And the actual name of the grape variety is Malagousia. It's thought to be a distant relation of the Malvasia grape.
All
but
right.
it makes this lovely, very aromatic wine. I think it's fascinating. Unfortunately, we can't buy it here in the
You
UK.
can't?
You
Oh,
can't.
what a
We had
pity.
this bottle sent from Greece.
Is that enough?
Thank you very much.
It's not much,
that'll
really,
do me,
is
yes.
it?
But
Yeah.
But try and pick up a bottle if you go to Greece on holiday.
That's what I always do. You should
Yeah.
see me. I come with suitcases full of things that I
Yeah.
can't get here.
Very good. Well, I am very happy about how that
Does
goes
it go
with this.
nicely
It goes
with it?
absolutely brilliantly, I think. I'm going to move on. Have you had a have you
I
managed to
have a
taste the wine?
taste, yes, and
Have a
it's
little
beautiful,
taste.
but I
Good.
haven't tasted my food yet. So
Okay, well,
I'm going to taste some
pour
of
out
this.
your glass, and I'll just give you a little bit of this
Just-
as the next one. I think you will be pleased with your recipe.
Yeah.
I certainly was. Okay, this second one comes from South Africa. It's made from the Columbar grape variety. Paarl Heights Columbar, very inexpensive, $3.49 from Bottoms Up Thresher or Wine Rack.
I like the name.
Paarl Heights.
Bottoms
Oh,
up.
Bottoms Up, yeah. It's a very crisp, lively, floral kind of delicious, really good, fresh, refreshing summer wine.
It is, isn't it?
Mm.
And it
Summer,
has to be
Easter,
served
anytime.
very, very cold, I think.
I think it's good if it is
Yeah,
cold.
very, very
Let me just
cold.
try a little bit of this. See how this goes. Very good recipe, this do.
It is nice. It's something that the whole family will enjoy.
Well, I'm pretty happy with that as well. Although I think possibly the Greek wins at the moment by a short nose.
And
Okay,
what
third
do
one.
we have now, Charles?
France.
French one.
This is a Gewürztraminer from Alsace. It's £5.79 from Waitrose, and it's a much more aromatic
Than the...
style. Really, think rose petals when you smell this.
Oh, yes.
Rose petals and lychees.
Yes. Rose water, yeah. Oh, the
Fascinating.
Greeks love rose water.
Yeah.
Oh, very perfume.
Well, it's lovely wine, but I
Lovely.
think
What do you
I
think?
think I go for the Greek again.
Yeah, the same
There we
with
are.
me.
Greece wins
Yeah.
out. Well, if you'd like to try Lula's recipe at home, together with my wines, here's today's recipe recap. Well, I'm afraid that's it for today. Join us again next time for the final program in our bread and pasta series.
Unfortunately.
So that's macaroni pasticcio with
Yes.
big macaroni.
Thick macaroni.
Thick macaroni and meat.
In the
and-
middle we have meat and topped with bechamel sauce.
Oh, doesn't that sound wonderful? And there's a film of a dish called uvetse.
Uvetse?
And I've got wines. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Welcome.
Γεια σας και καλώς ορίσατε.
Now today is the last in our mini-series on bread and pasta. And you're going to be doing a pasta dish today,
Yes,
aren't you,
I'm going to
Lila?
make macaroni pasticcio, which is pasta with mincemeat. But I'm using pork today.
Using pork?
Yes.
Now, do you often use pork in Greece?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I think of it as souvlaki, you quite often use pork.
Well, yes. I mean, pork is much cheaper than lamb, so we do tend to use a lot of pork.
Yes,
But
honey.
with this recipe, you can use beef or lamb. It doesn't
Right,
matter. Or
right.
even turkey mince.
Now, macaroni pasticcio, macaroni I think of as being terribly Italian. Now, is this an Italian influence?
Well, I mean, I'm not quite sure, but it could be. It could be the
Yeah.
Italians took it to Greece, you know, when
Because
they
there's been
occupied
quite
Greece.
an interchange from time to time,
but
hasn't there?
saying that, I remember my great-grandmother, when she died when she was 103, by the way, making her own pasta, so I don't know.
I mean,
don't
this pasta that we have here,
It's a Greek pasta, this one.
that is a Greek pasta.
And Greek pasta, and as you can see, it's quite thick.
Yes, yes.
You know, it's not the thin spaghetti
No,
that
no.
you often see. But I think the Italians make similar pasta, but this one is Greek.
Right, well. And there's also, you went to Uvetse and you made a film
I went
there,
to
didn't you?
Evia.
You went to Evia.
Evia, and I made
Oh,
Uvetse.
Uvetse is the name of the dish. Silly me. Okay, so on Evia, and what tell us about a bit about Uvetse, which is coming up in the film?
Uvetse, again, is a lovely dish made with pasta, but they
Right.
use hilopites, or sometimes they use, it's called klitharaki, which is tiny little pasta. Look, it looks like rice.
Right.
It's only just slightly bigger with rice, but
yeah.
as I said, you can make it either with hilopites or with the klitharaki, and you bake it in the oven with lots of tomatoes, and you can either use lamb or beef.
Yeah.
And usually they use a clay pot to cook it in,
right.
but they don't cover it. It's done uncovered in the oven, and it's absolutely delicious. This was a delicious meal.
Let's have a look at it.
So, Arjani, you're making uvetse today.
Yes, we are going to make a uvetse. A uvetse it's called because we use this pot.
Yeah, this is the uvetse pot.
This is a uvetse pot.
Yeah.
And we make it with lamb.
Mm-hmm. Is it leg of lamb?
It's a leg of lamb that
Yeah.
we cut.
Into
Legovi.
quite large pieces.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you don't cook your lamb beforehand, you just put
Yes.
put it raw in your uvetse dish.
Yes, we put it all in the uvetse dish.
Mhm.
And
After you have to cut that one, yes? It's a bit big, or you're not going to use that?
No, it's
Okay,
enough.
you've got enough. And what
Yeah.
goes next? What do
I
we
will
put
put
next?
salt.
Yeah, a little bit of salt,
A little bit of pepper.
yeah, freshly ground pepper.
Some tomato sauce.
Chopped tomatoes.
Chopped tomatoes.
Chopped tomatoes. Yes.
Garlic.
Just 1 clove of garlic?
Well, because it's not very big.
Yes.
If it was bigger,
yeah.
or if somebody likes it more...
More garlicky, we'll put more garlic. Oh, so you chop it quite into big pieces?
Yes, it boils afterwards and all this will...
Disappear,
you know.
Mm. So you don't add an onion in your uvetzi?
No, we don't use...
You don't like onion in the uvetzi?
No, we don't usually do it. Mm. And we will put oil.
Olive oil, that? Is that olive oil?
It's olive oil, yes.
Yeah.
We use olive oil everywhere.
Everywhere in Greece, I know.
We add a little bit of sugar because of the tomato.
Yes, to take the acid, sort of taste of the tomato. Mm-hmm.
And we add some fresh tomatoes on top of that, which will give a bit of juice to make it.
Also give a lovely color to your uvetzi, yes? A nice color, red color. What else do you put now?
Now we'll pop it in the oven.
This goes in the oven. You don't put anything else now. No water, nothing.
No.
It goes in the oven. So this goes in the oven until it's nearly cooked.
Yes.
And then what? You have one here that you already
this
cooked.
has been cooked, you see.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
juice.
Now we'll add this.
The hilobites. Yes. You don't need to boil the hilobites first.
No.
No, that's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Well, that's good.
They'll take more taste here.
You think they're tasty?
Yeah.
More tasty?
Yes, well, they boil with the juice of the meat and the tomato and the...
Sounds lovely. And you just mix them together. And I suppose you keep adding water if it's dry, don't you? A bit more.
You'll add water, yes.
Yeah.
But warm water.
Warm water, yes. You never put cold water in warm food.
No.
Because it changes the taste of the food.
Yes.
Also, it takes longer to cook.
It stops the cooking.
Yes, the cooking,
Yeah,
definitely, and changes the taste. So how long do we put this in the oven now? How long do we cook it for?
Not long. It'll take about a quarter of an hour
Is that
or something
all?
like that, or perhaps 20 minutes.
Yeah, so
we'll try and see.
The thing is to keep checking it and stirring it so it doesn't stick.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes uvetzi is made with the klitharaki, which is the little pasta, isn't it?
Yes, you can.
It looks like rice.
You can do it that way too, which is called manestra in Greek.
All right, so it's called a different name when that's. Oh, that's, I didn't know that.
Or manestra.
Oh, manestra. Yes. I love it both ways.
Both ways. It's nice.
Okay. So shall we put this in the oven now?
Yes.
Shall we take it and put it in the oven? Shall I take it?
Yes, because it's hot.
It's hot. All right, I'll do that if you like to.
I wouldn't mind living there. Beautiful view.
I wouldn't either. Her garden, wasn't it? Beautiful.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
But how very interesting that she used hilopita rather than klitharaki.
Yes, well, some do.
I'm trying to become an expert on Greek pasta.
Greek
I'm going to leave you, who are an expert, to get on with your pasta dish.
See you later, Charles. Okay. First of all, we're going to start with the filling of our macaroni pastitsio. And for our filling, we need a pound of pork mince. Now you can use lamb or beef. The choice is yours. We also need 14 ounces of chopped tomatoes. We also need 1 large onion finely chopped, 2 cloves of garlic, glass of red wine. You can use white wine if you prefer. It doesn't matter. And a little bit of sugar and some parsley. Now, add just about a tablespoon of olive oil. That's all you need. Because we've got mince in it, we don't need a lot of olive oil. Add your onions. And your garlic. Mix them together. And you don't need to brown them before you add your meat. I'm going to add my meat now. And now we need to brown our meat Okay, after 5 minutes, it should look like this. Now, we're gonna add our red wine. And as I said before, you can use white wine. Don't worry about it. Make sure you have another glass there so you can have a drink as well. Now I'm going to add my chopped tomatoes. Mix them all in. Also going to add a teaspoon of sugar. And of course, the seasoning. Lots of freshly ground black pepper. And of course some salt. You can always check, taste it and see what it tastes like and adjust your seasoning. Right, all we need to do now is cover it, lower the heat, and let it to simmer for 25 to 30 minutes. And after the break, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Welcome back. Today we're making macaroni pasticcio, which is macaroni pasta baked in the oven with mincemeat. Now, before the break, I was showing you how to make your filling, which is, we've been cooking our mince now for 25 minutes, and it's got nice and thick. All we need to do now is add a couple of tablespoons of parsley, mix that in, and remove it off the heat. Doesn't it look lovely and colourful? Now, I'll move this to one side because I don't need it yet. All right, now I'm going to talk about our pasta. You need about a pound of this thick pasta here, the Greek pasta. And you need to boil it until it's half cooked in lots of salted water. All right, I think it takes about 5 minutes. Right, once you've done that, you drain your pasta and you cool it for a bit. We have here. And you need to put some cinnamon, ground cinnamon, about a teaspoon of ground cinnamon in there. We're also going to add 2 eggs. I'm going to beat them slightly. That will help the pasta to bound together, you know. All right, and also I'm going to add 2 ounces of melted butter and about a teaspoon of dry mint. Again, Greeks love mint. You can use fresh mint if you've got it growing in your garden. And I think the cinnamon and the mint will give the pasta a lovely, lovely flavour. I'm going to season it as well. I forgot to do that. Put a bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. And also I'm going to add 2 ounces of kefalotiri cheese. You can use halloumi cheese if you want, or cheddar or parmesan. It doesn't matter what you use. Use what you have in your fridge. But kefalotiri obviously is the best choice because it's Greek cheese and that's what they use. But because I'm a Cypriot, I always use halloumi. Okay, here we have it. Now I'm going to show you how to make your bechamel sauce that we need to put on top of our pasta dish. You need 3 ounces of butter. Add it into a nice large saucepan because we're making a fair amount of bechamel here. And when your butter starts to melt, you add 4 ounces of plain flour. So 3 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of flour. Add that in it. You have to start with high heat and then you turn it down because you want to brown your flour. Okay. Keep stirring and cooking your flour for a couple of minutes. And once the flour starts to brown a little bit, you remove it off the heat and you start introducing your milk into your flour and butter. Now you need a whisk for that. Now you need 1.5 pints of milk and start pouring it really, really slowly, stirring all the time. Once all the milk is been poured in, and there is no lumps into your milk, you place it back into the heat on a medium heat and keep stirring all the time until it thickens. All right, our sauce is thickened now. I'm going to switch it off the heat, remove it from the heat, and I'm going to add I'm going to add 2 eggs. Now make sure it's off the heat when you add your eggs, because you don't want your eggs cooking and you end up with scrambled eggs. Right, also going to add some nutmeg, a pinch of nutmeg, and I'm going to taste it actually. That's lovely. Doesn't need any more salt or pepper. Great. Now I'm going to show you how to assemble our macaroni. Macaroni pasticcio. Right. Now, this is the pasta we prepared earlier with the cinnamon and mint. I'm going to add half of my pasta in this earthenware dish. Like that. Make sure you oil your dish first. Spread it around like that. Now I'm going to add my mincemeat mixture. Doesn't it look lovely? It smells delicious. It's making me hungry actually. Add this. Now I'm going to add the rest of our pasta on top. This will feed 8 people, 8 hungry people. And you have to serve your macaroni pasticcio with just a salad. You don't need anything else. It could be a Greek salad or just a green salad. Right? Now I'm going to add my bechamel, but I forgot to put some cheese in my bechamel, so I'm going to add it now. It doesn't matter because it's finished now. Mix that in and pour it on top of your macaroni. You want to cover your pasta with the bechamel sauce. Right, want to use every little bit from there. Right, spread it with the back of the spoon. Now we're going to put a little bit more nutmeg on top. Some more cheese. You'll create a lovely topping. And I also like to add a little bit of butter, just a little bit of butter on top. That will make it nice and crispy, give it a lovely golden topping. And all we need to do now is bake it at 190, gas mark 5 for 40 minutes to an hour or until nice and golden. I'm going to take the other one from the oven we've been cooking. Oh, wait until you see this, Charles.
I won't have to wait long. Now.
Just make you hungry just by smelling it and looking at it.
That looks terrific. Right, now I was very, very uncertain as to what wine would go best with this.
All right.
So I've got a very wide range. Actually, we're starting off in traditional fashion with a Greek red.
All right, let me cut some of this first, Charles.
And this is a wine from, okay, it's a wine from Goumenissa, which is one of those appellations in Macedonia, not far from Thessaloniki, just to the northwest of Thessaloniki. Hey, that looks terrific.
There we are.
Which is very famous for its red wines, made from the Xinomavro and Negoska.
Xinomavro, yeah.
Great varieties. Whoops, there we go.
Now, usually you have to leave this, Charles, for about 10 minutes to...
So that it gets down to the nice lukewarm temperature the Greeks prefer.
That's right, and Greeks like. And also, you'll be able to cut it better.
Right.
It sets.
Now, this, I think, has got a lovely sort of very gently raspberry kind of smell.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Let's see how it goes with this.
Oh, it's lovely.
Delicious-looking dish. Here we are.
I'll give you some salad as well, Charles. Because macaroni pasticcio is always served with a nice salad. And we've got a lovely salad here.
Thank you very much.
I nearly put it into your lap.
It's jolly good, this.
Is it nice?
It's a substantial dish.
It is, yes. So that's why you don't need anything else, just salad.
Well, I'm pretty happy with this. It's
You're
a,
happy
it's a
with
reasonably priced wine, $4.99 from the Cellar Erect Wine Club. I think it goes rather well with this. So let's see if either of the others can do better. Okay, so this is the second one. This is a bit more expensive. It comes from France, from the northern Rhone. It's a Creux Hermitage, Cave de Clermont, and Waitrose sell it for £6.45. So it's a couple of quid more expensive, £1.50 more. Very sort of smoky, rather intriguing.
Yeah, I was going to say, sort of, it
Yeah,
smells like an
smoky,
aged wine.
Lovely, rich fruit. Terrific. Let's try. Try with the pasta.
Nice. Goes very well, I think. Yeah?
I find it a bit too tannic.
Is it?
A bit too robust in a way. Now, the other thought I had was that maybe I was on the wrong track completely with my reds. And
So we're going for
I ought to
white.
be trying a white. Let me just do that and give you a tiny rinse out.
So we put on...
So this is a white wine. This comes from South Africa. It's a Chenin Blanc, Wineland's Bushvine Chenin. And it's
sort of slightly pink, isn't it?
That's because we've had red
Is
wine
that
in the glass. $4.49 from Bottoms Up Thresher and Wine Rack. Let's have a go. It's a lovely wine. I think it's a terrific wine, but does it go well with your Pastitsio?
Well, I think I'll let you tell me that.
Well, actually, that's rather nice.
I was going to say, I
That's
prefer
rather
this
good.
one.
Well, I'm torn between the Goumenissa and this Wineland's Chenin Blanc. I think I'd say, look, folks, if you prefer red wine, you go with the Goumenissa. If you prefer the white, you go with the Wineland's Chenin Blanc. Anyway, if you like to make macaroni Pastitsio at home and wash it down with a few of my wines, here's today's recipe recap. For today, I'm afraid. Next time, we're concentrating on salads and dips. Real key features in the Greek menu, aren't they?
Especially with mezes.
Absolutely. What are you making?
Well, I'm going to make 3 lovely dips. I'm going to start with hummus, and then I'm going to make TPD, which is made with feta cheese.
Right.
And I'm also going to make something that I created myself called Cosmos dip.
Terrific. Okay. Look forward to seeing you then.
Bye. Γεια σας και καλώς ορίσατε. Hello and welcome.
Hi. We're concentrating on dips today. Now, the Greeks quite often refer to these as salads, don't they? As in tarama salata.
Tarama salata, melanzano salata.
Yeah.
Yes, they're always called salads. But of course, in England, you know them as dips.
That's right, that's right.
A salad is a salad in England.
Absolutely. But it's a really key feature of Greek life, isn't it?
Definitely.
These lovely things, you know, you go to the bar and you find
I mean, a meze is not a meze without a dip.
No.
And also, you'll find this dip from the tiny taverna to the posh restaurant in Greece.
Right.
You know, they serve them everywhere.
You're making quite a few today, aren't you?
I'm going to make 3 dips. I'm going to make hummus.
Yeah.
And of course, people think hummus is Greek. Because when you go in the supermarkets and you find
Yeah.
hummus. It says Greek hummus,
But
of
actually
course they're
it's
not.
Arabic.
Arabic
Yeah.
and Cypriot, actually.
Cypriot.
The Cypriots did it.
Uh-huh.
But now I believe they started making it in Crete, especially, in
Right.
places in
Yeah,
some of the
yeah.
islands, because they're popular.
Right.
And I'm also going to make htipidi, which is made with feta. It means bitten, htipidi.
Right.
So it's made with feta, and I'm also going to make one of my own specialities I created, and it's called Cosmos dip, which has
Terrific.
lots of tomatoes in it and chilies.
Yeah, great.
Hot.
But you also went to Chalkidiki and you met that nice,
Yeah.
very popular TV
Yeah,
cook.
Vepa Alexiado,
Right.
jolly lady,
Who
lovely
made lots of
lady.
dips for
She
you
made
there.
3 lovely dips for me.
Let's
We're
watch
going to
it.
watch. So, Vepa, I believe you're going to use some of these ingredients today to make some of your dishes.
Yes, I will. Now I'll prepare tzatziki.
I love tzatziki.
This is yogurt, the yogurt you like very
the
much.
strained yogurt.
I'll
Yes.
put the yogurt in a bowl, and then I have the cucumber cut in small, small, small pieces, as you see in this plate.
Oh,
So I put the
right.
yogurt.
You take the skin out,
This
yes?
is 1 pound yogurt.
Pound of yogurt. So we're
Let's
making
say
a
the-
lot of tzatziki here.
And this is a big cucumber, very small cut, as you see, in small cubed pieces.
Yes,
I'll put-
without the skin.
Yes, without the skin. I have it. And if I want you to show you how I cut it, I can.
No, that's
No,
fine.
you see how
Yes.
it is cut.
So yogurt,
Here I have the
cucumber.
garlic.
So we put garlic. How
About
many cloves?
3 cloves,
Three
of,
cloves of
garlic.
garlic.
I put the garlic in. Then I put
I'll help you here. I'll take
Yes.
this away.
Then I put the dill. It's about 2 to 3 tablespoons of dill.
Some people like to use mint or
I
no?
don't like in
I like
tzatziki.
it.
You like in tzatziki?
I like mint. Yes.
You can use it.
Yes.
The herbs are
Very
Okay.
important, aren't they? To make
now
a good
we have to
tzatziki.
put olive oil.
Oh,
And
olive
then
oil.
salt and finish.
Yes.
Very plain ingredients, as you see.
We eat so much olive oil, don't we, in Greece?
We use the olive oil. Greece is surrounded of olive trees.
Yes.
And as the dietitians say, is the only olive in the oil is the only oil that keeps the heart young.
Oh, wow. And the Greeks
and
must...
protects you from this disease, heart disease.
Is that why the Greeks live longer? Because we
Yes.
eat a lot of olives and
Because
olive oil?
of olive oil,
And
of
yogurt.
fresh vegetable, of yogurt. Now we have to put some salt. Here is the salt.
Alright.
I'll put some salt. And then I have to bind all this to fold. Okay. And ready.
So you
The
don't put
tzatziki is
anything
ready.
else?
No,
lemon
nothing.
juice, no...
Plain ingredients.
So simple
just
to
fresh
make.
yogurt, strained yogurt, because it's not nice to be runny.
Shall I?
And yes, you can do it.
I'll
You
mix
can-
it while you get on with the next one.
You know what I'm going to prepare next?
No, but...
I'm going to prepare the fish roe pate that
Oh, tara
everybody
mosalata.
loves.
Tara
Also,
mosalata,
tara mosalata.
yes. Very Greek, like tzatziki.
To prepare the tara mosalata, I have here the fish roe. I put it 200 grams. I put it inside the mixer. We need a mixer for sure to blend it.
Sometimes
So-
people have to wash that because it's very salty, don't they? But
No,
probably the one in
we
Greece
mustn't,
is...
because I put the bread inside. So the soaked bread with water. So the salt is not too
bad.
much. It's not too
Okay,
bad.
lovely.
200 grams fish roe and 200 grams dry bread. Very dry
yes.
bread.
So stale bread.
Yes.
Stale bread.
We put
But
in
you
water.
have to soak them in water
Yes, first, and then we take out, push in our hands.
All the
to
water
take
out?
All the water out. I have it ready here, so I can use it. Now,
Yes.
we will put in about 1/3 of the olive oil.
To start with.
Yes, to
Yes.
start with. And we put also some ground onion. We have the onion here. We put
No garlic in tara
no
mosalata.
garlic in tara mosalata, just onion.
Just
2
onion.
tablespoons, 1 tablespoon, as much as you want.
you want,
It depends. If we put more tarama and more bread, we have to put more olive oil.
Olive oil. So you
First,
have to
we
balance
put them
the
all
two.
together. We do this in order to crack the eggs, the small
That's
fish-
right. So it can
eggs,
become
yes.
very like a paste.
like a paste.
Yes. We start out in the bread.
Yes,
I'll help you.
You can put it. Help me, please.
This is nearly finished.
I'll put the olive oil
The rest
little
of
by
it.
little.
Yeah, it's like
Little by little.
making mayonnaise, isn't
In a
it?
thin stream, as you see, in
Yeah.
a thin stream. And in a few minutes, the taramosalata will be ready.
It'll be ready.
The
Do you put
tarama
pepper?
is no pepper,
No pepper,
no salt, no pepper, just olive oil and the lemon juice.
I can see
Finish.
changing color as well
Yes.
now. It's becoming
Getting
a nice
white.
pink
Πολύ
color.
ωραία. Now
A
we're
light
going to
pink.
have- Okay, ready.
It's ready now.
Taramosalata is ready.
We can
Ready.
taste it as
Taramosalata.
well, I suppose.
Yes, you will for sure. You will taste taramosalata. I have a spoon there. Give me a spoon to take taramosalata out and put some in the bowl. We have the bowl here.
Right.
You can put the taramosalata. Look how nice
Oh,
it
it's
is.
beautiful.
Look,
It's light, isn't it?
light and tasty.
I'm
And
dying to taste this.
Colorful. Look at the color, pink color from tarama.
What a nice woman that
Oh,
Bethany
she was lovely, very
Yeah.
hospitable. I
Yeah.
ended up with her books, her clothes.
But a very influential cook.
Very. You know, all the Greek girls, when they first get married, and of course they don't know much cooking, and because the mothers don't have time now to teach them the cooking, they usually buy her cookery books, and they learn how to do all these wonderful Greek dishes.
Well, I learned my Greek cookery from you. I'm looking forward to trying this later. See you later.
Okay, we're going to start with DBD, which is feta dip. You know, sometimes it's called diro salada, which means cheese salad. All right, first of all, I'm going to show you how to prepare one of these chilies that we're going to use in. Now, this is slightly hot dip, you know, hot dip. Now, you have to cut your chili in half, remove the seeds, and now you must remember when you are when you're working with the chili to wash your hands afterwards, because if you touch your eyes after you've been handling one of these, oh, it's terrible. You'll be crying for days. It will sting your eyes. Now, you have to cut this very, very thinly, this chili, because I don't want to blend it. I'm going to mix it in with my dip afterwards. Cut it like that, and then cut it as small pieces as you can, very, very finely, like this. And be careful not to cut your fingers. That's it. I'm using 2 chilies. I'm going to use 1 green and 1 red for color. I like the colors. Okay, this is a very simple dip to make. So, we start with half a pound of crumbled feta. Now, the feta we get in England is sometimes very salty because it's in brine. Do wash it first. Put it into one of these food processors. And start blending. Add 4 tablespoons of virgin olive oil. And also we need about 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. And a little bit of pepper. That's it. Finito. Our dip is nearly ready, believe it or not. And it only takes seconds. Now I've got to put my cheese in a bowl. Try and get everything. I'm very economical. I don't like wastes. Like that. Now I'm going to mix in my green chili and my red chili. Mix it like that. Decorate your plate. Hi, Charles.
Hello.
Decorate your plate with some tomatoes, sliced
Spicy
tomato.
little number,
Doesn't it
this
look
does.
lovely?
It looks very,
I
very
love the
pretty.
little colours.
Can I have a taste?
Yes, you can.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Just give me a minute, Charles,
Okay.
because I want it to be finished. A little bit of
A little bit of paprika.
paprika, and see what you think, Charles.
Shall indeed.
And I actually like to decorate it with a couple of olives as well.
Mmm.
You had this dip
Very
before?
good. Very good. quite, as you might say, spicy.
I love it.
time for a quick break now. Join us in a couple of minutes for a couple more dips. See you then.
See you after the break. Today, before the break, I made this beautiful dip made with feta cheese. It's called TBD. If you missed that, I'm sorry. You have to follow with the hummus. We're going to make hummus now. Very easy to do, and people love hummus. Now, you have to soak half a pound, which is 8 ounces, of chickpeas overnight in cold water. The following day, you rinse them, put them in a saucepan and fill them with cold water and bring to the boil. Once they start boiling, you need to skim them, and then you need to simmer them for at least 1 hour until they're soft, until you can press them between your thumb and finger, and they are squashed like that. Okay? Now, once you've done that, put them into your blender with 4 cloves of garlic. Right? Now, you don't need to chop them finely at this stage because you're going to start blending. Oops. Then start blending them. I'm going to add 1 cup of the water I boil my chickpeas in. So you need to keep that. Got to switch it off a minute and mix them. That's right, because they tend to stick to the blender. And then I'm going to add some tahini. Now you need about 4 tablespoons of tahini. That's it. And now I'm going to add some lemon juice, the juice of 2 lemons. You need about 4 to 6 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm just going to see what it looks like, if it's thick enough. All right, it needs a little bit more blended. And you also need to add some salt and pepper. And I've got to mix it again a little bit more. Now, tahini is sesame paste, and it's available in most health food shops, actually. Now, I'm going to taste this and see what it tastes like, if it needs more salt or pepper. It needs more salt and more pepper. And some more lemon juice I need to put, and our dip is ready. Our dip is ready, yes. Looks really, really nice. Not too thick and not too thin. All I need to do now is pour it into our serving dish. Now hummus, after it goes in the fridge, it thickens. So it's always best to start with it being a little bit thinner, like this. Okay, now we need to decorate it with few reserve chickpeas, cooked chickpeas. It just make it look nice. A little bit of paprika, little bit of parsley, and I like to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top. And here is our hummus. Right. Now I'm ready to make my Cosmos dip. As I said, I created this dip, and I'm quite proud of it, and I named it Cosmos after my restaurant. Now, you need a pound of fresh tomatoes. You do not need to peel them because we're going to blend them. You also need 1 fresh sweet pepper, either green or red, it doesn't matter. We also need 1 red chili, finely chopped, remove the seeds, and the same one, but green one this time. Okay, we also need about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic in there. About 3 tablespoons of tomato puree. That will thicken the dip. A teaspoon of sugar. pepper, salt, and then we start blending, adding the juice of half a lemon and 4 tablespoons of olive oil. It only takes a couple of minutes to blend. Let's check it. Yes, it looks fine. Now I'm going to put it in my dish. Doesn't it look lovely and colorful? And now I'm going to add 1 onion, finely chopped. I don't want it blended because I want it to have a nice sort of thick consistency and crunchy. When you're eating it, is really nice. Also going to add 4 tablespoons of fresh coriander leaves, finely chopped, and 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. Mix it all in. It looks like a salsa really, and it tastes like a salsa. I'm going to just taste it and see if it needs any more salt and pepper. That's really, really nice. And our dips are ready. And I'm going to take them down to Charles now and see if he's got any nice wines to go with them. Well, I believe you love Greek dips, Charles. Is that right?
Absolutely right, Lula. They're one of my favorite parts of Greek cooking. Terrific. That looks very good, your dip, I must say.
Yeah, different.
Yeah. Now, okay. Let's get some wine in the glasses and then dips on the plates and we can have a go. Now, this is a Greek wine. So let me just give you a little bit of...
Some bitter bread, essential to every dip.
Now, this Greek wine, it comes from the island of Santorini.
Yeah.
And it's made by Boutari, and it costs pretty reasonable, £4.99. Now, can I offer you some of this hummus?
Oh, that'd be lovely. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Great.
And it's a gentle kind of wine. It's pleasant. It's made from this lovely grape there that they have called the Assyrtiko.
Ah, yeah.
Lemony, crisp, fresh, right? Quite piney in a way, but I think it's a lovely wine just to complement well-flavored, spicy dishes. It's not going to get in the way too much.
Oops.
And I'm going to try this delicious-looking hummus you made first, because hummus is a particular favourite of mine.
Pop this into you like them?
Excellent.
No? I think they're better than the ones you get in the supermarkets,
no question. Well, it's not quite right for the hummus. Let's try it with the Cosmos.
Right. It's more spicy, you see, the Cosmos.